Good evening, everybody. We are live. It is the Muzzle is Off podcast, and I would like to welcome every single last one of my guests that are here with me. I got my girl Tamika sitting here right next to me. So we decided to do this a little different today, okay? We are still talking about relationships, and we're going to really get into it and get real raw with it as we begin to really unpack relationships today, all right? So I have Shelby. Shelby, wave to the people, tell them hi.
Hi.
I got that damn Dre.
What's happening?
We got Marcus. Marcus, you don't want to say nothing to the good people.
Uh-oh.
Marcus, what happened to your sound?
Your mic. Hey, everybody.
Boom, there we go.
Yeah.
And Jamel, we got Jamel in here.
What's going on, everyone?
All right. So
Hello.
let's do this, y'all. Let's really unpack this conversation about relationships.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's important that we really begin to talk about this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes we shy away from the real raw deal, holy feel about relationships.
I
Because
agree.
we don't want to deal with some truth. And the truth of the matter is that some relationships are toxic as hell.
Oh,
Some
Yes.
relationships are beautiful as hell. Some relationships, they just good as hell.
right.
And other relationships, they just bad as hell.
right.
Okay. So I feel like we should really just begin to unpack the good, the bad, the toxic, the whatever it is. Let's unpack it today, and let's
Yes.
just be real with it. Let's be raw with it, and let's be honest with it. Because at the end of the day, we've all experienced some level of a relationship, whether it was good, bad, ugly, toxic, whatever the case may be.
Yes.
And I think we could really talk about this and really shed some light for the people.
Absolutely.
All right.
And
So
it's about accountability, right?
yeah, we're
You
gonna
gonna get there?
we're gonna hold each other accountable
That's right.
because everybody ain't all peaches and cream. Everybody
No.
everybody ain't everything.
That's right.
All right, so let's do it.
You want to start unpacking?
Let's unpack.
Let's unpack. Who want to kick it off? Anybody?
Don't you pick it off?
Want to kick it off? All right. So introduce myself to people who don't know me. I have a podcast myself. I'm a pink elephant. So let's get into some relationship stuff. The reason why I brought up accountability because I noticed that have you ever had a friend? I'm pretty sure somebody out there where they'll tell you a story about their relationship and everything is one-sided, like he or she. And for me,
Yes.
that's a flag that you haven't taken any responsibility of what you contributed to the relationship, and that lets me know that you're kind of far removed as to your part you played in it. Now you could have been a person that did everything right. And the guy did everything wrong, but you didn't take accountability that you allowed these things to happen to you as well. So that's where I kind of am when it comes to relationships. And I believe in the law of attraction. I believe sometimes we attract who we are. We don't realize it because we don't want to speak that truth. You know, so
We attract who we are.
we attract who we are. Sometimes you beat the representative. It's just like a job when we go fill out an application. I'm going to blow myself up a little bit more because I know that when I get on the job, I can learn. So I'm gonna tell you all my qualities, but I'm gonna scoop it up a little bit more. So I'm gonna put my best foot forward when I'm meeting the guy. But you don't know that at one time I might snap. I was very defensive. I was selfish and didn't realize I was selfish. You know, I thought selfish was just not giving, but I was selfish in my thoughts, in my heart. You know, my personality. Those were selfish things. I'm a giver, a tangible thing. So I only equated selfish to what I can offer somebody physically or even my body.
Okay.
You know, my loyalty and all that stuff that I thought was everything. But I didn't realize that I was attracting a selfish person because I was selfish myself. It was every time I talked, I realized it was about me, my issues, my problems. You're not listening to me. And I was attracting selfish people. Maybe not exactly the same way how I was selfish, but in their own way. Selfish doesn't always have to be the same, but I felt it. And I stood there always looking at what somebody else was doing. And I never looked at what I was doing because I just felt that I was just a great woman. You know? Do y'all feel me on that a little bit?
Yeah.
No. I'm listening. I'm waiting on y'all to get started. I'm observing.
I don't think y'all great for the same. But I'm gonna say this because I do think that we attract who we are. I do believe that the energy that we put put out is what we actually give back. I never forget one time I heard this preacher say, he said, y'all sitting up here talking about all men and dogs. Well, if all men and dogs, then you must be giving them kids and kids.
Right.
That took me all the way out.
Right.
Because I was like, he just insult all these women that keep calling these men dogs and basically saying, well, if they dogs, and what food are you giving them if they coming back to you for their food?
That's right.
You must be kibbles and bits because that's what you're giving up. You're giving up food and bits. You're giving up dog food, so therefore that's why these dogs keep attracting you and stuff like that.
Right.
But what I will also say is that sometimes you could be attracted to me, but that doesn't mean that that's what I want.
Oh,
Trust me, that's facts.
That's tough. I'm gonna piggyback off of that because okay, I don't want to cut you.
So just because you're attracted to me, that doesn't necessarily mean that that energy is not what I'm giving up. You just come to my good.
Yes, baby. Yes.
Good, positive.
Yes.
My great look. The fact that I look like I'm about the business.
Yes.
So therefore, you're attracted to that level of energy. But I'm not attracted to your energy because your energy might be off for whatever reason. If you are not who I am attracted to.
Right.
So I do believe that we attract who we are, but I also believe that we can literally attract the opposite because they want who we are, but I might not necessarily part that. Dre, what you got? I agree. I sit right here.
Well, like I said, again, welcome. Thank y'all for having me on here or whatever. But like I said, I'm just kind of observing before I get really in depth, in tune with the, with everything. I'm very curious to hear what everybody has to say about what y'all are saying. Like I said, it's definitely interesting to me. So I'm kind of falling back just a little bit because I want to kind of understand, get the feel of this platform before I start saying my little 2 cents. Because you follow me on my page, so you already know I ain't got no sense.
I do know. That's why I don't even care. We here for it. I got you. That damn Dre. We here for it. So Marcus, Jamel, what y'all got?
I'll let Marcus go. Go on, Mark.
Look, I was trying to sit back too. I wanted to hear what Dre had to say.
Y'all not used to women being accountable?
Look, I was waiting for somebody else to start the drama.
Oh, we gonna get this.
I was just waiting for somebody else to say something.
Let's start off slow first.
Right. Then we go then.
I'll go as far as accountability.
Can I piggyback off of you though?
Wait, I think Shelby.
Oh, Shelby, something. I'm sorry, Shelby.
Yeah, I'll go as far as accountability goes. I agree with that. When you have the person that's always like, oh, they did this, they did that, and it's like everybody else's fault instead of theirs. What I do, and even when I listen to other people's stories, I say, if you can tell your story to somebody without sounding crazy, then you know it's not you. I always check myself first when I have disagreements.
Yes.
After I check myself, I check it with my girls. Look, am I crazy? Am I off? Tell me if I'm off. And if they say, no, you're dead on, nothing's wrong, then okay, it's not me, it's everybody else. But I'm not just going to say it's everybody else without checking myself and what role I played in that situation to see who was crazy. So I try to be accountable.
Absolutely.
If I can.
So like I said, sometimes you don't even know, like when I said the selfish thing, sometimes you do things subconsciously. You don't even know that's a part of being selfish until it's broken down. Like I said, I thought selfishness was, I'm a giver. I get paid. I always buy you things. I do things. I fix your credit. Here I am. But it was so many other things that I was selfish with. And it was, like I said, my heart, my time, even with sex, we use that. Women will use that against men sometimes. And, I was selfish with that. I don't feel like I don't do it. And then as I started thinking like, damn, men really got their needs, and here I am being selfish because I don't feel like it. So it's all those things that play a part as well. Now, it doesn't negate from the fact, and we're going to get to the drama, that these men got some issues.
Okay, so I'll start there. Men have issues. Yes, we do have issues. We have issues of choosing the right one. We have the issues of in our choices, like what is the right choice for us. When it comes to accountability, I know for me, I chose based off what my circle thought was popular versus what was healthy for me. So that put me in a bad situation In regards to when I went through adversity. She looked good, but she wasn't good for adversity because as soon as we got the adversity, we became diverse in opinion and thought. We wasn't one anymore, and then boom, I'm back out with my single friends. So yeah, when it comes to me in accountability, I wasn't always accountable to what was healthy for me in the long run, just in the eyes of my friends or in the short term. Because you're right, there are some people out there that looks great, but they're not great for you. And if you don't check yourself, and if you don't look at your own where you're headed, where you're going, and you don't see, and you always hear that, oh, I don't see this person in my life 10 years from now. I can see us together 10 years from now. Really? What if your job careers don't line up? What if your friends don't line up?
What if you have a pandemic? This pandemic exposed a lot of people.
The pandemic exposed a
She
lot of
looked
people.
good, but she could when it's time to. Y'all can't go outside. Y'all can't go out to eat. All this pandemic exposed a lot of people.
Right.
It exposed a lot of relationships to me too.
Yeah, it did because it had to expose what was real and what wasn't. Because at the end of the day, when you're stuck in a situation like this pandemic where you might not be, if you don't live with that person, you might not be able to see them every single day. And on top of that, when you single and you date, and you had to come up with real creative ways in order to truly date. Like you had to really think of some stuff. Like if that meant that you needed to go order me some food and have it delivered, although I do not like Grubhub or any of them things, but what I'm saying is if you had to do that, then those were the things that you had to do in order to determine, okay, is this for real? Is this for fake? But even with all of that, there was still drama. Mm-hmm. Even with all of that, there was still misunderstandings. Even with all of that, there was still communication breakdowns. Even with all of that, it was garbage.
It was good in the beginning for a lot of people. Then it was like, when you going back to work? When your job opening back up? How long you gonna be working from home? Because it was like a lot of time together. So you had to, once the sex gets old, you have to have something more than that.
Did you say once the sex get old?
You got to have something more than that. Can we have a conversation?
Oh, that's 100%.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
When it's just us in this house, what else do we have?
These men got to offer. Ooh, I'm new in a dating pool after almost 20 years.
You can't just blame men now for that. It's more than what. What do women have to offer?
That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
No, but what? See, it's the deflection happening right now.
No. Y'all.
No, what I'm noticing, I'm just saying, how long have you? I've been single for 2.5 years, almost doing 20 years, and what I'm seeing out here now, from what I left behind in the early 2000s, late 90s, mid 2000s, is different. Men expect you to go half on food, on meal, dinner meals. Never. My first experience after getting out the date, after almost being in like from 2 back-to-back relationships, my very first date was a guy that was a realtor, drove a really nice car. We met up. He asked me out and expected me to go Dutch. And I didn't understand what time zone this was. I didn't know where I was. I didn't understand what was going on. What type of, I just didn't understand a conversation about who's going to pay for a meal.
Did you ask him any questions? Or did you just look
I
at his
saw
card?
that he was fumbling with his wallet and he looked very uncomfortable. So I said something. I was ready to pay for the whole meal. Honestly, like, I got you, bro. You know?
No, that wouldn't have been.
I was going to do it to feel like I was kind of like chumping him because I can't. I need to embarrass you a little bit. I need you to feel some type of way. So like, you know what? Nah, I got you because you look uncomfortable. But he went half all the way down to the tip, and I never experienced that in my life. I just gave them. Needless to say, I never called them none of that.
Half down to the tip.
To the broken in the tip. This is
Yikes.
This is a man with a nice car, great career, educated, degrees, and this is what I'm welcome back into in my single life.
I might not have walked back into that. I might have glided on out of that.
Well, that was my first experience, and I was like, whoa.
Glide on out this way. Like, y'all see that glide?
And he invited you out?
Well, sometimes y'all look at certain things, whatever, and y'all expect certain things. You know, it's the reason why he may be in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say that.
That car could have been rented. That car could have been rented just to impress you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be honest about it, it could have been just to make you. And if it works, then, you know, like I say, you could, again, y'all have to get in depth because again, for me, the way I look at things, we can't do anything to y'all. We can't hurt y'all's feelings. We can't do nothing that y'all don't allow us to do. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all are going to sit up and open the door for somebody, a joker to come in there and play with y'all's life, it's like y'all are asking for it almost. You know what I'm saying? Because if y'all sit there and continue taking it, y'all are asking for it. So y'all have to dig just as much as we have to dig. You know, like I said, and kind of getting back on what y'all was saying about the accountability stuff or whatever. A man knows when they're ready to take accountability for their actions. We know when we're ready. You know what I'm saying? When we just, you know, I'm tired of playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Right. I want to find a quality woman. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, some of the choices that we have out there is not worth it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things. So we have to also do just as much digging because I can tell you right now, there are a few women on my social media who are chasing me, but I've ignored them.
They chase you.
Y'all started stuff, right? That they started, but because I've ignored them or whatever, so I'm hearing feedback now that they're going talking to other people that, oh man, I ain't about nothing, I ain't no good. No, I'm just not interested in you. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes a thing where, you know, like I said, I'm now looking like I'm the bad person, and that's how things get started. The trend continues. So, you know, like I said, y'all have to ask questions about who y'all want. What are y'all allowing in your life, etc.? Because we got to do the exact same thing. And again, here in this DMV area where we are, the ratio is 8-to-1. So if you're going to act up, if I'm going to date you and you want to act up, there's 7 more out there that'll get it right. You know what I'm saying? That I have a chance to go to. So y'all outnumber us in this entire area, period. So we can play the field. We can play the field all day we want up here.
But don't you date more than one person at the same time?
No. I court.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it.
No.
I'm courting.
But courting is like dating.
No. When I court, dating, when you're, this is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Just my opinion of what dating is. Dating, you can date, you can enjoy each other, have fun or whatever, but you're still an option. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to deal with you.
Okay.
You're still an option. When I'm courting somebody, my mind is focused and our energy is focused on each other exclusively. There's no distraction for anybody else because we both have an end goal of being married. Something more popular, more stronger. So, and people come, well, y'all exclusively dating. Okay, well, you're dating. You say dating, you are still an option. If I know for a fact this is a woman I'm going to be with, I'm going for that part. That's the energy that I'm giving out, and she's giving it back to me. I'm courting this woman. I'm showing her that this is what I'm going to be doing as a husband for you. So it's completely different. That's just my thought process. I'll let somebody else go.
That's good because that's good stuff. And I'm gonna tell you no lie because that's true, right? When I was courting versus dating. Yeah. Oh, Anya's on your hey, girl. Sorry, I saw my friend. I'm like, wait a minute. But no. The truth of the matter is when you, like he said, when you are dating, you are literally dating multiple people at the same time. You are an option. You are optional. There is no commitment. There is no nothing. Yes. But when you literally transition to that courting phase, that courting phase means that, okay, I see a lot of potential that is in you and I want to literally take this a step further. If I'm courting, we courting because we about to be on this marriage tip. Right. We're not still trying to figure this part out. That's right. I see the potential. I see who you are. You see who I am. And let's move. Yeah, that I can get with. Yeah, it's these folks that get this courting and dating crap all misconstrued. Because when I was with my good ex-husband, that something told me we was courting, and he was courting everybody at the same time.
Well, he was calling it courting dating, really.
He knew what the heck he was calling it, whatever. He just wanted all of us
to like he was creating a pool.
One of us.
Hold on. Y'all, ain't that what we call in the last couple of weeks entanglements? But I'm gonna leave it at that.
Not the entanglement.
I'm gonna leave it at I'm gonna leave it at that.
I've never been in one, but I think I'm looking.
That's for next week.
My husband to be cool with my boyfriend.
Look, unbeknownst to me, I was in an entanglement. Hello, somebody. I wasn't a willing party in this entanglement. Right. I was in an entanglement.
You was in an unadvised entanglement.
You was entangled.
I mean, I was entangled too and didn't know, but I was also being courted very well. Let me ask you guys something, just from a man's perspective. And I always say this thing that I feel like I speak a black man's language very fluently. I don't know if that has a lot to do with me having 5 brothers, the girl, like all that type of stuff, right? But why is it that sometimes what happens in the process when you feel like you're being courted Because sometimes a man can study the crap out of you just to know how to treat you. See, sometimes men can be predators. And what I mean by that, I'm not just meaning sexual predators. Somebody preying on you, on your mind, seeing how they can manipulate you, and it can almost come across like they're courting you. Everything they're doing lines up. Now, women do have this thing called the intuition, but sometimes we go against it because the proof is showing is going against what our intuition is feeling. So sometimes a guy could court the out of you for 90 days, and then after 6 months, and then you're like, damn, he's not really calling me as often. What happened? Like, what, from a man's point of view, what makes you go so hard sometimes in the beginning, and then, like, what is it?
I want to say what I say, but I want somebody else. I'll let the other fellas.
Okay.
Sometimes in the beginning, when we're meeting each other's representatives, everything is all good. You know what I'm saying? You really don't really know who a person is, and you're excited about the newness of it.
Right.
But as time goes on and you start to recognize certain things, and you begin to recognize, I'm not really feeling, she's kind of mean to people, or nah, I'm not really feeling that because she can be a little arrogant here, or I'm not really feeling that because I like an intelligent woman, and some of the things she's saying ain't too intelligent. Sometimes as you go along, you lose interest. So I don't think, at least from my point of view, I don't think that it's about being a predator. It's just that when you really start to get to know someone, then you begin to either draw away or draw closer. And sometimes you draw away. And it's like, nah, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I really want. And then you begin to say, you know what? I think I'll go in another direction. So.
Okay, let me ask you this, let's do this then. But why don't you then communicate that, like, listen, something is off here. And can we discuss what's off? Or is it so far off that you feel the communication is not even necessary?
Because what I do as a female, I'm sorry.
Jamel.
Okay. I think. Well, for me, I'm a big communicator, and if I feel like something's off, I'm gonna let you know, like, I'm not comfortable with this, or I'm not comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times men avoid those conversations because they lead to arguments. Most men don't want to argue. Most men don't want to deal with a whole bunch of yelling and screaming, because it's like a lot of times women get into their emotions and they begin to yell or they begin to scream, because sometimes women are triggered by what they see, and they tie it back to a relationship that they got out of. And then while you're arguing with me, you're really not arguing with me. You're arguing with someone from your past. And now I'm the one who has to sit here and hear all of this stuff. And I have to be here like, nah. And so sometimes that makes men pull back from the communication part, because who wants to argue with a woman all day? I'm a man. I was always taught you don't argue with a woman. So I'm not trying to argue with you. Huh?
Don't argue with us. Just agree.
That ain't
right. I can disagree and we can talk. But that arguing stuff, once you start arguing or you start calling me out my name or you start saying stuff crazy, then it gets to the point where it's like, yo, check this out. You can leave or I can leave.
But I just heard no communication. That was no communication.
Let's dial that back.
So no, not you can't communicate over arguing.
But let me say this:
if we can talk, we can talk.
You know, we cannot argue. I know how to control the room, though. I do.
But every woman does not necessarily
argue. Yeah. And sometimes men just don't want to hear it. You ask them.
So, and the truth of the matter, because sometimes what might appear as an argument is literally a woman trying to gain understanding by posing an opposing question, right? So it's not necessary, because you see where I'm going. It's not necessarily an argument.
Yeah.
It's a woman saying, I don't quite understand what the hell you just said. So I need you to clarify this for me so that I can understand what you're trying to say. And it might come across as it being argumentative, but it's not necessarily. It's like men sometimes, not all men, but a lot of men, assume that, I corrected myself, don't do me. Assume that we just want to argue. But we don't, because I know me, I'm not an arguer, although I can argue if I am so pleased. I can argue you, okay? However, I choose not to argue because I prefer communication. I prefer to be able to talk. And I prefer to come to a level of understanding because I do understand that communication requires understanding.
Yes.
And if you don't have understanding, then that is what, you know what, Escape saying it. She said, if you don't want to meet me halfway, understand and die. Did they not say it? I'm just trying to tell you what they said. Okay.
Yes.
So, in order to not argue, you have to be able to come to a level of understanding. And when both parties feel like they're not being understood, that's where the argument actually comes from.
100.
And a lot of times, men, sometimes, some men,
a lot.
Some men assume that we just want y'all to agree with us, but it's not that we want you to agree with us. We just want you to understand where we're coming from. Understand this good heart of mine that I understand you, but I need you to understand what the hell I'm saying.
Okay, so I'll take that one. Sometimes when you go out and you're trying to get to know somebody that you're interested in, the first thing you need to do is learn how that person communicates. Because most of the time it's a lapse in communication and communication style. I can tell you, for me, I'm very blunt, very straight to the point, and so sometimes the way I communicate seems like I'm being sarcastic or pessimistic, but it's not the case at all. That's just how I communicate. Now, for a person talking to me, it's not just for me. It's not for you to just assume how I communicate. That's where talking comes in, spending time and, taking that time to hear how the other person communicates. Because two aggressive people, there ain't gonna be no communication at all. Why? Because that person, that's their tendency. That's their trigger. So if you're talking aggressive, and it's another person that talks aggressive, they're gonna talk aggressive as well. It's gonna take somebody to step outside of themselves in order for that to happen. But if you don't have that, you just don't have that, which means y'all gonna have to make a choice. This might work, this might not work. For most men, I'm gonna have to fall back.
But okay.
Yeah. So y'all okay. Okay.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing,
man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So y'all are like unloading a whole lot of stuff right now. Like I said, and I'm not gonna try to hit everything at once, but I'm gonna try to simplify what my point is. So as y'all were saying about understanding, about the communication understanding. So I had made a meme and it went viral or whatever. The meme basically stated that everybody, when people say communication is key, communication is not key. Communication is 50% of what it is. The other 50% is comprehension. You can be the greatest communicator in the entire world, but if I can't understand what you're saying and it's not registering in me, then we're going to continue having those problems or whatever. We're going to continue hitting the exact same points, the arguments, the exact same issues are going to continue coming up. So that's what's going to happen. So you both have to, number one, be able to comprehend and understand, comprehend and communicate very well. Number two, how you talk to somebody. When y'all say y'all arguing, y'all don't argue or whatever. You don't, first and foremost, you talk to a person. You don't talk at a person.
Right.
So it's two completely different things. So that's what's going to lead when, like my man said, when you got two aggressive people, it's a way to talk. If you talk to me, you're gonna get what you're gonna want. You're gonna get your answers a whole lot more easier, more friendly, more welcoming than you will like, you blah 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 yada yada. And if you sit up, I need more understanding. Talk to me and tell me about what is this so I can gain. Thank you. That's all you need. No problem whatsoever. So I can explain this to you a lot better. There's ways, like I said, ways to talk. Instead, you talk to somebody instead of talking at. So now, my point is, when I communicate with a person, I am not like if I'm having a intense discussion with a woman, you know what I'm saying? I'll call it that. I don't argue. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in an intense discussion with a woman, I'm not trying to win the arguments. I'm gonna just say argument. I'm not trying to win the argument. My goal is to win the woman. You know what I'm saying? So if she needs more understanding, I have no problem doing that. So that's all I want to do. So like I said, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to say my little quick points and get off because I don't want to get long with it on this. Like I said, I had these conversations all day with women, like all day.
But I feel
and
like
I get
the narrative.
a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, I'm at the segue. I feel like the narrative is kind of cliche, and we always say that it's not how you talk, it's the comprehension, blah blah blah, right? So let's cut out the women that are argumentative. Let's cut out that because it's a whole bunch of other women like myself, like Nakia, that are not like that. And when I say hold on, when I start speaking black man's language, I do. When I say I have 5 masculine brothers, even one of my brothers plays for the NFL. So when I say I speak a black, and my father is a masculine male. You understand what I'm saying? So I know how to come to men, and I know how to cut off every excuse. Because even when you come to them, I'll put my best foot forward. Comprehension. I know how to ease, make them feel good. I try to talk to them when we're in a good mood because I feel like when we're in a good mood, our spirits are high, and then you might be able to receive the information. Because what I feel like with a lot of black men, and I can only speak for black men mainly because that's who I've been with, and that's my man of choice. You know, they are kind of very, for the most part. I'm pretty sure even if it's not you, you might have a friend like that. They're very standoffish when it comes to communication, especially if they don't want to be accountable for something. So they have a way of, no matter how you come to them, oh, you're bugging. We're going to talk about this right now. It's always an excuse, and it makes us feel a little insecure, like we're not worthy enough for you to hear us, no matter how minuscule you think our issue is. And just because it might not be important to you, or you're saying, come on, you're talking about that, that's not no big deal. You are totally undermining and dismissing a woman's feelings. And then when you say she's emotional, we are emotional by design. That's how God made us. Would you imagine us being exactly like a man? We have to be some sort of emotional. So when we're nurturers. We're nurturers.
So when nurturing, you have to have an emotional.
We raising kids.
To be
emotional. So when a man say you're too emotional, I don't really comprehend what that means, because I don't say to a man, you're too masculine, you have too much testosterone, and you too much. I need my man to be masculine. All the way.
And not with that feminine voice.
No, we don't need that. I need because our masculine men are under attack right now, I feel. So
y'all prefer to be talked to, like, you know, in that tone, in a tone of like, y'all, I need to put y'all in y'all place. Is that like, I know, because I get conversations with women like, I get out of line sometime, and I need my man to put me in my place. You know what I'm saying? Is that what y'all looking for?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
I'm talking about.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to understand.
But you know what?
But let me say this. See, wait, my friend, Denisha, you are cracking me up in these comments. Denisha said, "What you got to say now, Teddy?" She's talking about Marcus. She is calling Marcus a good teddy bear. She's like, "What you got to say now, teddy bear?" She is. I know I can see these comments. So therefore, yeah. First of all, hold up, pause. I'm reading the comments. As you do, I am not like that. I do not need no man to put me in my good place.
Yes,
because I know how to be a woman.
Right.
Children, those are grown kids that say things like that, and it's because those are deep-rooted daddy issues. When somebody says about putting me,
that really is a deep-rooted daddy issue.
No, it's a deep-rooted daddy issue.
And when women do feel like that, they are lacking something in their life called structure from what they did not have from childhood.
I'm gonna say this. Yes. I want my man to check me when I'm wrong. I want him to put his foot down when it's necessary, because I want him to be the man. I don't want a soft man that's just gonna let me do anything. So I don't know if this is what we're talking about, but check me when I'm wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like that.
Not like beat me up when I'm wrong, but check me, like put me in my place. Shelby, you know,
I don't need
you're out of here. I want that.
I'm wrong. I might not know what's. That's what I want to understand for some of the women. What's put me in my place? Like what does that mean?
Let me.
Not put me in my place, but I just want, like you guys said, I want a masculine man. I want a man that's going to be take charge, head of household, get the kids in order. You know, I want a man to do his role, and I'm going to do my man be so like a woman or whatever.
Yeah.
But check me when I'm wrong. I don't want a soft man that I can just run all over. I don't want that.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I definitely don't want a soft man that's just going
to. That might be another subject right there.
That's not another subject. That's where we're on right now.
What you saying?
And that's
I'm Marcus Teddy for now on.
That's problematic because you're saying you want something, but you're not defining what you want. And for every man, checking means something different. And I'm sorry, I don't mean no disrespect, but I don't want no man checking one of my sisters because I don't know how he defines checking.
Right.
Okay, so maybe checking is not the right word.
Yeah,
Right.
and sometimes we say that, and that's when men.
But I don't want to make all the decisions and everything. I want somebody that's gonna. I want it to be a partnership, and I want him to. If it's a decision that needs to be made, I want him to be able to stand up and make a decision. I don't want to make a decision for every in the household.
Agree.
You know what I mean? I don't want to plan the dinner. I don't want to.
It's not a check. It's I need a man that's going to be a leader.
Right.
A man
Okay.
that's gonna be a leader.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, a leader.
You have to
I have to be
articulate.
a leader as well. But it's not necessarily a checking. It's a man that knows how to lead. So therefore, he's going to guide the house in the right direction so that you don't stray off the course. So that a man needs to know his role in your life, period. But this whole checking, I'm not a kid. Do not ever think you're going to check me. We're not going that route because I'm not a child. I'm a grown woman and I'm able to make decisions. It might not always be the right decision. It might not always be the best decision. But if I come to you and say, listen, babe, I'm thinking about this and the third. I expect you as my man to be able to guide me in the way that you feel would be right. Right? And best for our situation, right? Now, if we out in public and I do something, right, that just might not be pleasing to the both of us, do not check me.
Oh, it's a time and place. Yeah.
Right? But you can talk to me.
Yes.
There's a difference. Children need checking. You know, when I think of checking, I think of, you know how some of them children be running around with them little harnesses around their whole back and stuff, and the parent, and they start taking off, and the parent gotta yoke them on back. Yeah, you're not yoking me up. No. Because we don't need that.
Because we can communicate. Yeah.
We know how to communicate on an effective, grown, intellectual level. So therefore, you can talk to me like I'm a grown. One thing I don't like, and I'm just being very honest, do not dismiss me. Oh, yeah. Marcus, put your finger in. That dismissive foolishness gets underneath my good skin. Okay? Because I feel that when you literally just dismiss the person, it's like you have literally disregarded everything that they just said, and you are dismissing them, and you're dismissing their whole point, their whole feeling, ignoring the question, talking over it, all of that. I tell you. That hurts my whole soul. Yeah. I don't like dismiss. Anybody that knows me knows that much about me, because I'm not a dismissive person. I like to engage. I'm an engager, so therefore I engage in conversation. I won't even engage in conflict. Yeah.
You're proving a point. So
what's the point?
You like to engage. All right. So if you like to engage so much, how about this? One, I'm not responsible for my significant other's happiness. She's responsible for her happiness. So how do we work together? I don't do anything that's going to piss her off, and she don't do anything that's going to piss me off. What? That's nonverbal communication. I look out for her best interest, and she looks out for my best interest. So I don't have to check her. I don't have to redirect her. I don't have to say anything. Why? Because she goes out and she represents me, and I go out and I represent her. That's how it's supposed to be. But you never get there if you don't get past that infatuation stage and you're not communicating. Hey, how do you communicate? I need to know how you communicate. If you're aggressive, that might not work for me. Why? Because I'm a problem solver by nature. If you got a problem, I'm going to go fix it. That might infringe on your emotions, because I might need to tell you, hey, you're being emotional. You need to stop that. I'm a problem solver. But if you don't know that about me, you might bring me something that triggers me to help in a way that's not beneficial to you. But it comes with getting to know one another, and it comes with communicating. You have to be happy within yourself. I have to be happy within myself. And when we're both happy by ourselves, then we can assist in building each other's lives. I don't believe that it's anything that a young lady can do for me that's going to make me happy. Because if I'm not happy, I'm just not happy.
I want the ER. Like, I think that some men are intimidated by, I'm going to speak for myself, okay? I think some men are intimidated by my happiness. I live a very fulfilled life. You understand? I worked on myself very hard to be the woman that I am today. I'm very cutthroat when it comes to, I need you to add the ER to my happy. I'm already happy. I'm good. I make me happier. ER. You just add the ER on it. If you're not adding to what I have already, you're just going to take away from it. You're going to drain it because we're not equal. We're not compatible. The chemistry isn't well. When I'm around you and I'm already happy, we should be making our lives better. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. And if I don't feel like that, then you just my friend. We're cool. Because my man, I feel like how we gonna stay this world? That's how I'm thinking. What we gonna do this? I'm waking up today. I'm gonna try to make somebody happy. And if your mind is not on that mindset with me, with philanthropy, with raising the vibrations each other, I can't be with you. And I feel like some men are intimidated because they like to feel needed. That's when they know how to operate. I've been with a lot of guys, successful men and things like that, but that means nothing to me. And a lot of men, I'm sorry, when they don't have money and dick, no, when they take away the money and the dick, they don't have a personality.
I'm about to say they got that.
No, they got that. Big little million.
That's why I waited.
But when they don't, but that's
I'm shutting up. I'm letting her talk right now.
Some men have money. I'm talking about successful too, so they don't even know how to communicate because all they know how to do is spend money on a chick. So when you talk to a chick like me, and I want to know like, what's the last book you read, or what's your favorite movie, or whatever like that, or what's the last thing you did for somebody that they couldn't do for themselves, they get stuck.
Hold up, pause. Dude, I need you to explain why you said you don't feel like we're being realistic.
Cool.
No, you in the comments. I just need you to explain it because I need you to understand that. So do put that up in the comments, or I'm about to send you a good link, and you feel it's not realistic. He said we capping. I need y'all to explain it in these comments. I want y'all to put.
They said we capping.
I need y'all
about what?
No, but you know what? Because that's real. Because at the end of the day, if that's the feeling and
people
that's
just
the
ain't
emotion,
that deep. I don't know.
No, but explain it. That's what I'm saying. Explain it. Explain where the capping coming from.
Yeah.
Explain where the not being realistic, because if it's not
And
real,
what are the ages?
then it's being idealistic. So I'll put that in the comments. I need to. I really do want to understand it. However, Squeak, I just want you to know, Teddy does live in Maryland. That's all I'm just saying that.
Hey,
and Teddy is
checking for him.
And Teddy is single, D.
Ooh. And D is cute.
Man, look, y'all over here making connections and all that stuff, man.
My connection right here, baby. That's on 3-hour drive.
Listen, we talking hello. Nah,
D and Teddy.
Nah, because Squeak is in Maryland. That's what I'm saying. So Marcus,
thank you, Anya.
Look, me squeaking these comments. I'm just saying. Anyway, what I'm saying is that I love it.
They making love connections over here.
We're talking relationships. We might as well build them while we're talking about it. We might as well build them. But no, all those aside, I really do want y'all to put in them comments where y'all feel that we're not being realistic, because I want to address that, because I think that we're giving you a realistic view from our viewpoint.
Right.
Who is younger? Need y'all to who is younger, so he might have another vantage point, right, of what we're talking about, because he is of the younger generation. He said it's funny.
Oh, well, that's it. Okay.
I want
his journey.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know what to do with a chick like me.
Who?
Lost.
Girl. See, that's what we need to talk about.
With all this goddessness, he would be lost.
I mean, that's a good question. What age group are we talking to?
Right. So he was
I can speak.
Still going through his journey.
I can speak for me as a male. Depending on what I experience in like 3 years, is going to determine how I'm going to respond to a female. Because one of the things I do know is, if I came out of a traumatic relationship, then most likely my next relationship is going to be terrible. If I don't take the time to heal, you might want to wait. I don't care how much you want to call me Teddy. I don't care how much you like my beard or my bald head. You might want to wait. You might want to wait.
Okay, so you different.
Yeah, well, that should be with anybody.
Well, a lot of people don't.
You can't mask.
Yeah,
you can't mask. That person is going to be like, okay, for example, I'm a widow, right? I lost my husband in 2013. Okay, so I didn't think that I would ever love again. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, you will in time. Okay, so I met somebody. We started kicking it. We started dating or whatever, and he opened up my heart to love again. Okay. Now, I do a lot of reading, and basically what they said was, like, if you're a widow and you go into a relationship or anything or whatever, they said that first person is not the person that you should know, because that person is going to be the person, I guess, to get you over that last relationship or whatever. So I guess that was my healing journey, dealing with that person. to bring my heart back, to soften my heart to be and open to love for another person. So you do need to have that period where you get yourself together before you try to make something with somebody else.
Oh yes,
I agree.
You know what I mean? And plus, with that one, like I feared that the guy would feel like I was using him to replace my husband. You know what I mean? So I never want him to feel like that. Exactly. So that situation could be used in any. It's not the whole situation. It's just like T said. Like if he comes out of, is your name Teddy? I'm sorry.
No,
I'm calling you Teddy.
No, the ladies is calling. They didn't
I'm
name
sorry,
you Teddy.
Marcus. It's like what Mama said. Like, if you come out of a bad situation,
my government.
if you come out of a bad situation, you don't want that person to be a rebound. So yes, you need to give yourself time to heal.
That can happen. That can happen.
All right, so hold up. We got a question from a good viewer, John. John said, if a man works too much and still loves his woman, will that be a problem in a relationship?
If a man works
too much?
If a man works too much and still loves his woman, will that be a problem in a relationship?
That depends on the couple. You can still love your woman. Everybody's different in these scenarios or whatever. Like I said, the problem is if he's working too much, what has him working too much, number one? And number two, if it's benefiting the house, him working too much like that, is she complaining about it? You know what I'm saying? So that's something the two people need to come down together and figure out, okay, this works for me, this does not work for me. That's kind of simple.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of simple to me.
He might work so hard in the tax season, but once this tax season is over, he might take you on a holiday or however y'all feel is going to be your family time or your quality time. That's okay with that. So that communication is very important.
Well, let me tell you this. I think that at the end of the day,
quality time that makes a difference.
And it does, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't have time to put in time because you're working too much, where's that relationship going? Where is it going? What are you doing?
It can go somewhere if you both have an understanding.
Right.
Yeah, but you would need that level of understanding from the beginning.
Yes.
You have
to. Women will understand that.
Girls be lying. Women lie though. They say they can put up with it, but they don't be ready for it.
Right.
But some really can, right?
Yeah.
If you're upfront with it from the beginning, but the difference is that you actually, where you can, you really do make time and you do not put forth empty promises.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Broken promises. Oh, I'm gonna come see you here, and then next thing you know, 3 months later down the line, ain't nothing.
Yeah.
That's the difference in that. Because a person can literally accept something if they understand what they're up against from the beginning. I know me. I am that person. I can accept a lot if I know what I'm up against from the beginning.
Yeah.
But you gotta let that know from the beginning so that I'm able to from the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I honestly can say that in the beginning, I would say that I could deal with certain things because I liked the guy a lot. He seemed cool. I didn't want to lose him. So I said I thought I could deal with him, but I couldn't. When the relationship progressed, the courting or whatever progressed, it bothered me. So now I'm super realistic from the door. I was dating a successful truck driver one time, and every time he turned around, he was from the country. He didn't know where he was. I couldn't deal with that. Honestly, I didn't care how successful he was. I need that masculine man in the bed with me sometimes, laying just hugging me, and he was never there to do that. So it became like this relationship, long distance relationship. We saw someone that was sexual. It just was not good. It wasn't what I could deal with. So I stepped off, amicably, I guess. And I was honest, and that's why to this day we are still good friends. It's not romantic, but we have a lot of respect because it was based on honesty, raw honesty. So how could you be mad at somebody? You know what I'm saying?
My cousin Jazz, she put a question in here. She said, "How do you keep a relationship fresh and exciting?" Girl, let me tell you what I
because people are boring, man. The key is people have become very boring. They just want to Netflix and chill, and I don't.
No, I come up with new ways of excitement.
Yeah, it's a whole world out here. People just want to sit in the house, cook, and no, I don't want to do the imaginary picnic every night, every weekend.
There are ways of excitement. Okay? Let me say this, Jazz. Yeah. You just gotta find what excites both of y'all and keep that fresh.
Yeah.
But that's what I do.
Well, for some men, it's gonna be simplistic. They do the same thing all the time. So I can say for men, if you can find his pattern, which he's probably gonna show you in the first few days, That text, hey, what you doing? Nothing. He lying. He probably playing his Xbox. Ask him. Or he's probably at the gym. Or he's probably ordering some food. Or he's probably watching a fight. Like, ask them. You can pretty much ask the guy what they like, and it's probably gonna be about 4 to 5 things, probably 2 to 3, and you pretty much got it in the bag. Now, you can't treat him like the pattern, but you know what he's into. So if you into that, you're gonna keep the relationship fresh. If you're not into that, you're the one who's souring the relationship because you got into a relationship that you couldn't handle.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what happened with Will and Jada. I think Will was a successful guy, was a nice guy, but Jada's so powerful. She needs a certain. That's why she was liking the Tupacs and the August Alsinas and like Will was just a good guy, and I don't think that was her. They made good for a good partnership, like partners. But as far as a marriage, I don't know. I think it's representative.
You brought it up. Some people have to decide what they want. Either they want a nice, successful, healthy relationship, or they want to still dip and dab. Go out and get your Dippin' Dots, and when you're done with your Dippin' Dots, if you know you ain't spoiled, then find you that good person.
Right.
I mean, that person might not be there, but some people go for security versus being honest, and that happens a lot, and that's how you get in these entanglements because the person got into a relationship for security instead of for honesty.
Happens
But
all
I
the
need
time.
change though.
All the time.
I need change though over time, especially when you're young and you grow older with people. You change.
You don't want no routine.
You're not the same person you were when you met that person.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Say it again.
Let me say this. Right. So we all have been in relationships, every single last one of us. I know I have been in plenty of good and failed relationships. Right. They was good and they failed. At the same time. Like for real. Yeah, they were good and they failed. That's real talk, right? And the truth of the matter is that a lot of these relationships failed. It wasn't just one person to blame. It was both of us.
Oh yes.
Right?
Oh yes.
Like we all equally had a share in that fail. Although, as great as I feel I am, me too. Shit failed, right?
Right.
So when I really sit back and I really think about how certain things failed, there was mad things that I might have even ignored from the beginning, from the rip. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're younger, you do a lot of dumb stuff, right? You do a lot of dumb stuff. I could have met you in the club, thought you was real nice. We would have been kicking it or whatever. Next thing you know, boom, it's a wrap. That's the never mind. Right. I'm not even dealing with you. Then next thing you know, okay, so here come the next one. We in the club, because I was a clubber. Like, I liked going out. I was a clubber. I was a drinker. I was a smoker. That's what I did. Right. So therefore, whom I was attracting was that same type. They were drinkers. They was clubbers. This is what we did. Right. So therefore, as I began to maneuver in life, and every single last one of us was having sex. I'm not going to sit up here and act like sex was not a part of it, because sex definitely was. Yeah. And the truth of the matter is that when we dealt with a lot of that stuff, of the things in which we were doing, right? Sex, smoking, drinking, in the club, partying, having a good time, all of that was real. And it was fun for while it lasted, right? And then you get older and things begin to shift in your life, and you're like, okay, I'm not going to the club no more. You know what? I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to drink some wine. I'm not going to drink this hard stuff. Like, I had to give up Remy, because I used to drink a whole lot of Remy and be drunk. Real, I had to give up Remy. Remy was not my friend, and we didn't get along. We didn't have a relationship. I had to literally stop smoking because I had to grow up and get a real job where, you know what I'm saying, I could pass drug tests, right? And so there are certain things that you really begin to, just like, I can't do that crap no more. And then, you know, frivolous sex, you don't want that no more.
Oh, hell no.
You over it, you done with it. Frivolous sex, I'm not with it. It's a wrap. All right.
Who?
Just saying. Don't act like ain't none of y'all have frivolous sex. You know what?
Who doesn't want frivolous sex though?
don't want no damn
Me,
frivolous.
I don't know.
Frivolous sex ain't getting nowhere, but frivolous sex, hell. And
Okay,
that's
so
the point,
before I
right?
ask the question, please go elaborate when you say frivolous. What do you mean frivolous? So I can,
Well,
I want to make
casual
sure I
sex.
understand it.
Casual sex.
Just casual. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. But
Okay.
I'm like, is there another meaning when you say frivolous? I'm like,
Just casual.
what is this?
Basically,
I
we
got-
just sex
Carry
buddies.
on. Carry on.
We just sex buddies, and there ain't nothing more to it. But when we meet up, we just gonna screw.
I can't
Okay?
have one of those, Nakia.
No, not today.
No.
I
I'm
can't
just saying,
have
I
it.
never could because I would think that I can. I can't. My emotions are attached to sex. I know me. I know.
Yeah.
See, but that's the
Okay.
difference, right?
Yeah.
Because
I'll be shut out.
everybody's emotions are not attached to sex.
Absolutely.
Because there are
Absolutely.
women whose emotions are not attached to sex.
Wow.
I know for myself, in my good younger days, my
Yeah.
emotions were not attached to sex.
I didn't develop that.
I didn't
master
like,
that, man.
Yeah, no. Thank you, Anya. Nakia has been real from day one. Listen, I don't hold no
Absolutely.
punches,
Yes.
but what I will, I'm gonna tell you when I began to shift and change my good viewpoint. I began to shift once I actually went to the good church. Okay.
Right.
And I began to shift and literally changing my viewpoint of a lot of different stuff because I began to want more for my life than just casual sex, drinking, partying, all that other extra stuff. You begin to want more for your life. All that stuff was good when you was young. I'm damn near 40. I ain't 40 yet, but I'm damn near. So therefore, I knew I needed to change some things that I didn't no longer want that. So that's what I want to talk about. Like at the end of the day, we all have experienced life. Every single last one of us. I'm not sitting up here fronting for nobody because I've experienced a lot in life, and I'm not ashamed to talk about none of it.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, where you are today is not necessarily where you were yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is, I could respect a man with a hustle, a man with drive, a man with ambition, because a man knows where he wants to go.
Right.
So therefore, if he's gonna leave me, then I need him to know that for himself. Right?
And you can't teach nobody ambition. They either got it or you don't. That's something that can't be taught.
Listen, okay? So my whole thing is now where I'm at, I'm like, all right, all that crap that was. Now, nah, we gotta do something different. Period. We gotta do something different. There's no choice but for us to do something different. And for Marcus, I understood what he was saying when he was talking about he needed to heal first. Everybody needed to heal first.
I love that, Marcus. So listen, can I just say something? Can I just give him his flowers for that? Because it takes a hell of a man. Oh yeah, baby. Let me give you your flowers right now, King. There you go, King. Good for you. That's for you, baby. Let me give your flowers while you living. Because no, that was very impressive. Let me tell you something. To see a black man, a masculine man, because you come across as masculine, to say I have to feminine about Mark at all. Ain't that right? At all. I haven't seen that really be the narrative of a man saying that they have to heal. Now I'm a natural. I feel like I'm a nurturer and I'm a healer, so I attract a lot of lost souls. Natural, and that goes back to your law of attraction, what you were saying, that you could be like this, and sometimes they'll be just attracted to this. That's true. I attract a lot of lost souls because they need nurturing. But for you to say that, because I peep when a man needs healing, he usually gets in the friend zone, but unless he's ready for a relationship. But when you said that, and that's impressive, and I just want to thank you for that, honestly, because a lot of black men can't admit to say I need to heal first before I move forward. A lot of men will get in these relationships unhealed, expecting a woman to nurture them because we're natural nurturers. You know what I'm saying?
And you also think about it.
Narcissism as well, absolutely.
Go ahead, that damn Dre.
Dwight.
I want to say a lot of that as well, with men wanting to heal or needing to heal. A lot of times, like you said, you attract a lot of those men that feel they need to. Okay, so what do you think? Me as a person, I need healing. Do you understand? It's multiple women that do have the exact same thing to you at you. So a lot of times we feel that we need to heal, but we got all these women coming to us like, "Oh, I can help heal you. I can help do that." So it's not that we're actually healing ourselves. We're still hurting ourselves. We're just delaying the process of healing each other. So you got to also think about that. You know what I'm saying? So part of it for me, because I divorced, whatever. When I divorced, you know, I thought I was cool after I separated or whatever. I thought I was cool, and you know, and I tried to date somebody after that, and I realized it was not, and I'm not gonna blame her, because if I can point the finger at her, I got 3 fingers pointing right back at me, so I have to take blame for exactly what I did. So I had to go to counseling. And I realized I had PTSD, like, because I will never ever deal with a woman who is argumentative, combative, or you know, that's another word that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I can't,
Aggressive?
No, not aggressive. Like it's combative.
I'm not aggressive in business.
Argumentative, something like that. It's none of that. It's how you talk to each other, how you approach each other. You know what I'm saying? I just will never deal with that again.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't stand seeing a woman talk down to her man. It really bothers me.
And that's like I said, that's part of the stuff about healing or whatever. A lot of times, you know, like I said, it took me time to go to healing. I had to go to counseling to do that. So when I tell you counseling made me a better person, because I was in a dark place. I was in a super dark place. So I couldn't receive the love that I thought I was going to get from different people that were trying to. I wouldn't have just played with it because I wasn't ready to accept it.
Yeah.
Now I'm an open book about my life, about what it is that I'm trying to do, because I'm open to it. So now I know how to, if I get negative energy, or I'm going to call it energy, I know how to deflect, or, you know what I'm saying, keep certain people out of my life, because I don't want to go back. Like, I already know what they're going to bring to the table to me. I just got out of that place, and I'm not going to go back to that place. So, you know, like I said, just finding the right people, man, it takes time to heal. So I'm an advocate for any black person, especially black men, get out there getting in counseling. I'm an advocate for it, man. Get out there, man. Go go talk to somebody, man. Get yourself healed up. So, you know, like I said, I'm big on it because I know what it did for me. And I'm a Scorpio, man. So you can tell me, man, I can do all this stuff, whatever.
You're a water sign.
I have no problem. You know what I'm saying? Opening up and being truthful about my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And saying that's a whole nother subject. We talk about something else right now.
Another show.
Let me what's
You know
everybody's
another
sign
thing?
in the room? What's everybody's sign?
Another thing is
I'm a
this.
Pisces.
Another thing is this. Men, because we handle pain so well, because we're taught, growing up, you're taught, let me explain what I mean.
Okay.
Growing up, you're taught, don't cry. You better not cry. You better handle that, man up. And we grow up with that.
Yeah.
So we don't even really, sometimes we don't even know when we're really hurt or not, because we're so busy manning up. We're so busy taking the punishment and going on and going on and going on. And what happens is, you know, not only do the women we encounter not heal us, they don't even know we need healing, because we don't know we need healing, because we're taught how to mask that. We're taught how to cover that up and just keep going and keep going and keep going. And, you know, that is a form of it's a form of mental abuse.
Yes.
And because you've taken so much, you become callous. You become a little hardened. It's not that you don't have emotions, it's that you don't know what to do with the emotions that you have, because you're taught to not show them or not to express them. So in that case, you're standing there and you like, and then when you really are hurt, you talk yourself out of being hurt. Nah, I'm good. I remember when I got divorced. So I was like, I'm good. What? She bye. I'm gonna be I promise you that. And I went on a spree. I mean, for a good 2 years, I was just outrageous. I was outrageous. I was just outrageous. To the point where my little brother had to look at me. He's like, yo, I see you doing your thing, big pimping, but you doing too much. And I didn't realize that hurt that I had taken on, I was now putting out to other people, because I was just going from one to the other, 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 and didn't realize that I'm over here hurting them, because I didn't even acknowledge the hurt that I had. So how can I acknowledge the hurt that anybody else has? So, you know, you have to come to a point where you can learn how to express your emotions and your feelings. Because when a man expresses his emotions, this is what you get from women. What? You a punk. You a pussy.
You right.
You this.
Right.
You that.
You right.
And so now you sitting there like, okay, I guess I just won't say nothing. And then when I don't say nothing,
I agree with you. I agree with you. Because I know women that really don't have respect for men. I've seen it, and it bothers me a lot. Because when I talk to my son is not going to understand that. You understand? Like, he's never seen me. He's never seen his mother talk to his father like that. He's never seen his father talk to me like that. He sees the love. We're not angry. We're not angry women. You know what I'm saying? So all my son knows is love and communication. So when I trained him to the way where he gets older, he's not even going to understand an angry black woman. And there's a lot of them out there. I listen, I'm not the one that's going to negate for my problems and just play the victim all the time and say that men do this. Because we contribute in our own ways. We allow it. We don't show our inner strength. And also, like you said, a man can finally come and build up the courage to finally, especially a black man. I don't find that other cultures, or I'm sorry, other races really go through what the black man goes through, because, you know, this stems from slavery, as we know, that you guys have to be so macho, blah, 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 blah. Then it's just passed on, where you're just like emotionless, where you don't know how to handle us. You weren't taught these things because you were taught that if you cry, you gay. If you this, you this. It's like all of these negative connotations to have some sort of emotion, you know? And I agree with you. I've seen men open up to a woman. She's like, yo, he acting like a bitch. That bothers me. It really does.
See, but that speaks to the caliber and the quality of that woman.
Yeah.
Because a man can open up to me and I'm not.
Oh, I'm nurturing him
to say that he is a bitch.
Oh,
I'm not going to say that he is, you know, acting feminine.
That's right.
I'm not going to say that, because I do believe that a man, if he trusts you with his emotions, that means that he feels that he's in a safe place.
Yes.
So how dare I remove him from his safe place by attacking him and calling him outside of his name, and then diminishing and demasculating him.
Yes.
And making him feel as if he's not even a masculine man because he's expressing his emotion.
Because a lot of women do that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm with you, bro. I know where you're going.
It's like we want to further the toxic masculinity and trying to literally emasculate a man as if that's okay, and it's not okay. And we do have women who do that, but I do believe that they're also learned and they're immature, and they're not even, I'm not going to say they're not women, but they have not fully formed into what it truly means to be a woman to a man.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Well, I come in on that part right there. A lot of people didn't have a great example of what a woman or what a man should be. So they're trying to imitate something that they have no knowledge of. Second, what he was talking about earlier, I was divorced too. You know, most people like, you were married? Like, yeah, I was married. I was divorced. What most people don't understand is one traumatic experience, I'll say this, the right traumatic experience can change a great person, male or female. Quick. You can be a great man, but if you go through the right traumatic experience, it can change you. And some people like, he's a jerk, he's a jerk, he's a jerk. Like, well, why is he a jerk? Why is she a jerk? Why is she angry? Why is she responding that way? Well, you know, you might have to you might have to do your research. Just because I see you and you look fine don't mean I'm gonna talk to you right then. I might look at you a couple times, see where you're at in different environments. Why? Because I know my background. Now I have 7 sisters, so you know I can pick up on some things about women, but there's also a lot of things about women I don't know. And the first thing being a man is I'm going to assume, and I've come to find out relationships, my assumption of a woman doesn't work. I have to sit back and I have to observe. And sometimes we have to do that when it comes to the other person that we're interested in. Why is he like that? Why is she like that? What trauma have you experienced? Like, because it could just be one thing that maybe I actually like this girl and she totally played me. So now, for the first time in my life, after my divorce, I can tell you this. Before my divorce, I used to laugh at people with insecurities. After my divorce, man, I'm right there with them, man. I can't do that, man. That makes me feel weird. And for a person just experiencing insecurity, it's scary. And you're like, well, what do you mean it's scary? I mean the unknown. Am I going to have to experience that? And for a lot of men, like I said, I like the way this is going because the man gets to speak for the man and the women are speaking for the women. Men mask their hurt in what they do. So maybe he's a workaholic because he's trying to process the pain. The only way he can process that hurt is by him working. Maybe he plays his video games too much, or maybe he goes to the gym too much because he doesn't know how to process his emotions. You're either going to do one or two things. You're going to help a person with their emotions, or you're going to help fuel that emotion that you might not like. But
okay.
But you know, when you help somebody, we have to help somebody that wants to help themselves as well. But I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said too. When you said, you know, things can just change us, and it can. One experience can change us, and it can. But I feel like it's more harder for men. Women could go through. Women, a man could be so hurt from the third grader that broke up with him, and he bring that in, and he's so guarded. A woman could be hurt 20 times. And it'll take us maybe 20 times to finally break. And you might get us after that 20 times when we was a good woman. It takes a man sometimes 1 or 2, and us women, because we're naturally stronger than y'all and emotionally. We are. You're naturally stronger than us maybe when it comes to business and physical. When it comes to our emotions, we have groups. We easily talk to each other, women. We can easily be like, it's things that we can share with each other that men don't easily. I could go to her, I could be like, look, I got a lump on my breast. Feel this? We're more open with each other. It's natural. It comes easier for women. So when it comes to men's emotions, and then I deal with the men that's been hurt, have one traumatizing situation, and I got to try to deal with that because men are so neglectful to their own emotions. We're not, for the most part. You might get us after. I'm not saying all women. You know, when we speaking, I don't have to continue this. Yeah, but generally speaking, men are more hard up when they get hurt. Women have been hurt a million times. We'll still give hope to another man, y'all. It's harder to pierce through, you guys, even when we prove that we're different. And it becomes a thing. Y'all come into relationships where it's proven all the time. But
that's real because a lot of times, I can even speak for myself. I have been hurt numerous times in relationships, but still reserve hope for a future.
Yes.
And when you reserve the hope for the future, and then you meet someone that has been hurt in prior relationships, especially when you're dealing with a man, it's harder for some men to actually be open to the future because this is what I experienced. Yes. And the truth of the matter is there are some women that are just like that. Like, I went, because because you know what? When he did that, because he left that toilet seat up. And you know what? That made me angry. So therefore, every time you leave that toilet seat up, it's like a traumatic freaking episode of you left the toilet seat up. You just triggered me. A lot of people don't even realize that all these triggers is really dealing with a level of PTSD. That you are literally bringing into your good current and into your future because you haven't dealt with the experience of what actually happened. Yes. Right? And I even want to deal with the experiences so that, and let me tell you this, I even check myself, right? I am terrible at some things. And if I feel a certain way, I now have learned how to recognize within myself that I'm directing this feeling towards a new person that has nothing to do
that's a word.
with what I
that's a word
right now. Thank you. And I might have been ready for a mountain of a text message, right? You said so, right? But then I will think back and I'll be like, who is this person? What is his characteristic? Where does his integrity lie? Where does his morality lie? Who is he? And that whole good paragraph will be deleted and you might get hit with a good, oh, okay. Right? Because now I'm able to process through, you was about to go in on a person because of something you experienced before, and what you experienced before is not what you're experiencing now. This literally happened. Whereas before, it was planned to happen. This literally was something that came up. And I have to be honest with myself to say, yeah, I do that. But I will check myself because I refuse to project onto
Another person
what someone else did. But that literally takes, when you do the work on yourself, that takes a level of accountability that a lot of people don't necessarily have.
Thank you.
I have taken that accountability because I refuse to allow a man to feel as if he has to constantly prove himself to me.
Girl.
In the same way how I don't want to have to feel that I have to constantly prove myself to a man. I lived that shit. With my ex-husband, I literally felt that every single day of my life I had to prove to him how worthy I am valuable in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt. But I literally felt like I had to prove to him, you know what I'm saying, how much value I had.
Yes.
And I'm like,
look at me, I'm faithful. Once you have to do that, that's when you know it's not the man for you.
He ain't the one.
Yeah, when you have to prove your value.
And real talk, men don't have to prove that because, let me tell you something. Value is not proven, it's stated.
That's it.
When you go into any store and you buying a 5, 10, 15 karat diamond, depending on the quality of that diamond, is it VVS, is it flawless, is it whatever, the value is already there. That's value. Period. And depending on the clarity of it, depending on the cut of it, depending on how clear, when the light actually hits it, how it shines through, what it shows off, all that is value.
That's right.
So all of that is already stated. It's already there. You don't have to
prove.
They don't have to prove the value to you because all they say is, can you look at this? Look, this ain't a magnifying glass. They say, can you look at it through this? And do you see how when the light hits it at that angle, all of your rainbows just populate?
Yes.
This Carmex, y'all, but don't judge me.
That's the VVS diamond right there.
Oh, man. Hey, so I got a question there for you. When you said, y'all work on yourself or whatever, you had to work on yourself. So what happened when you work on yourself or whatever, and you believe that you're in this good place, you start dating a whole new person, you live in a whole completely different life now or whatever, but that person does something, you know what I'm saying, that was similar to your ex that you were just working on yourself to get past, and you relapse and you go right back and start treating him the exact same way. So how do you ever get rid of that pain, or how do you know you've completely healed yourself, or you're ready to move on from that or whatever, when you still, when the new person does something and you treat the new person like the old person?
Now I'm gonna tell you what I did, because I literally just went through that good experience like 3 weeks ago. And what Nakia did was, Nakia was about to write a good book of a text message. And then Nakia checked her own self. I did. I checked my own self. And I was like, this is not the same. That's why I just say, I literally had to say, who is this person? What does he represent? What does he stand for? And I had to check myself and be like, nah, this is not that. And I ain't even gonna lie. All jokes aside, it literally was like the very next day, I was like, see, good thing you ain't send that book and make a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what I would have did. I literally would have made a fool of myself. And then I would have put him in a defensive mode as opposed to him being on a receptive mode of saying, you know what? I know I did this, but now watch, I'm going to make up for it here. You understand what I'm saying? So I literally had to be honest with myself to see that I was about to respond in a way that would have been a complete turnoff. And I could not respond that way. And that's when I said, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was like, bitch, you did that.
Right.
I literally would have been, it really would have been the other way if I didn't take these last 2 years to actually heal. Because I'm gonna tell you, there was two of them right after I went through my good annulment. There was 2 men that was trying to talk to me, 2. And they caught the good wrath of Nakia. But I believe that was justly so. Because one of them stole my damn cell phone and gonna sit in here and act like he sent me the phone back. No, you did not. You stole it. That's neither here nor there. That's a whole nother story.
He ain't supposed to be around your energy.
He wasn't.
It was
Wow.
This is what I'm
But
thinking.
he did steal that damn phone and then gonna reach out to me like maybe 2 months ago. No, actually reached out to me probably back in January talking about, well, I did send the phone back to you. You didn't get it. First of all, you're not gonna lie because you know damn well you ain't
Who
send
is
that
stealing
good.
from women? Like I don't even get. I don't understand
And
that.
I hope you watching this because I'm telling the truth. Because you know, and then you prompt. I was for the text message that you said
Well,
that you
damn.
pay it back. No, because this is real. He said that he was gonna pay me back my good money. Oh, I'm gonna send you the money. Send me the value of the phone. I found the cheapest value of that phone and still ain't get my money. I hope you're watching because I'm talking about you.
Well, can I kind of segue because can I say this when I did?
No, because I'm talking.
Yeah,
that you can segue, but I'm talking about him because you know exactly who he is, and I hope you're watching.
That's to me, that sounds like some crackhead shit.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be funny.
I really thought that was real feminine for a man to do.
No, that's not feminine. It's crackheadish. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you when I did the work on myself, right? And when I did the work on myself, and I asked God to reveal me to me, you're not gonna like what He's gonna have to say because I'm a person that, again, I'm a philanthropist. I speak to young girls. I help women through this, blah blah blah, and I've done a lot of other things, right? But I'm so self-loathed, and I've done all this stuff. I'm not realizing my flaws. And when I asked God to reveal who I was, I didn't really like the response, but that's when I did the work. Now, right. So now that I did the work on myself, I'm gonna tell you something. I only attract top-notch guys. I only attract top-notch people. I also attract little stragglers, but I understand and I see it empathically, spiritually, and I connect to it that you're here for a test, and I'm not falling for it, baby. Now, every time I pass the test with these derelicts, with these men that cannot meet me at my level, with these men that still need healing, they drop off, and God brings me closer to my divine partner because I'm passing all those tests. So now I don't attract those type of men. I don't. They're a little intimidated by me, actually, because you know you got to come with your best foot forward. You steal from me, you're gonna die. But anyway, no.
I got the box like
That's
that.
disgusting.
My bad. Let me
Who does it? What does he do for a living? Like, who is he? What mentality is that? It's gonna steal from.
He was a good pastor.
Oh. Well, we're gonna leave it alone. It don't matter about titles. It's about character, right? That's why I don't care about nobody, money, and title. It don't even matter no more. I know a couple pastors.
And the bad part about it was, I mean, he was a pastor. He really did. He did have a regular old good full-time job. But some people, that's who they are.
That's just who they are.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's who they are. So I don't take nothing from you, but I do hope you're watching because I said what I said.
She said what she said, and you're wet. And are you doing drugs on the low? Just asking for a friend. Okay.
I would, you know what? Like I said, just so you're not holding on to it or whatever, let it go. Don't even worry about it anymore. It's in the back. Just it's all the, like what you're doing right now. You're giving that person that energy. Like, oh, is she mad at me? I'm gonna keep her mad at me. Let it go. Don't even give it no energy. You've moved on. You moved it on. You moved on. So I would just say let it go. Be done.
I really think it's funny because I'm not even gonna lie. After the fact of him sending me that text message, I never said nothing else about it. Right? I never said nothing else about it because at the end of the day, you acknowledge that you know good and well you stole that phone. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you stole it from a woman just spoke volumes to who he was as a person, right? So I brought that up today just to say at the end of the day, it's real because it happened. Mm-hmm. Like I can't deny what actually did happen. Now I could joke about it, I could laugh about it, and I do hope that he is watching because at the end of the day, I don't want his money. I really don't because I don't need it, right? But the fact of the matter is that you thought that as a man that was acceptable to do to a woman. That is disgusting. That's actually disgusting behavior because you came to me and acted as if you had a need, lied about your whole phone being stolen, this and the third, somebody stole it from your job, blah, blah. And I literally just had a phone lying around. So here you go. So it's not like I was missing it because I really wasn't. You understand what I wasn't missing it. But it's the principle behind what you actually did that was very manipulative and actually disgusting that you would actually do that to a woman. That speaks to why sometimes some men get involved in some of these relationships because they truly just want to manipulate and use a woman because you understand the situation that she's actually coming out of, right? So therefore, when you think that a woman is vulnerable and you think that she is open, you try to come in after the offense already took place, after the trauma already took place, and then you go and attempt to traumatize her even more. Nah, you can't do that.
But what kind of? Can I ask you guys something? And Shelby, jump in. I don't want to take over, guys. I'm sorry, but this is so interesting, and not for nothing. I love being here with Nakia. I really do because her energy is just. I can't wait till we're going to be working together more. But what do you think that comes from? And I want to hear it from a man's point of view. Where do you think that comes from when men become so manipulative for women and take advantage? Because speaking like in somebody's being, who I am personally, I don't care if I don't want to hurt anybody. I'd rather walk away. So what happens to men when they become so? We could keep saying, even if a man allows me to use him, I'm not going to use him, right? Because I believe that stuff that's going to come back around. That's just my. What makes a man feel so comfortable? Because it can't just be on a woman. What is your morals about? How are you raised? Like, what makes a man think that that's okay? Because I think it's the stigma around men can get away with things. We got to nurture him. We got to help him. We got to get him through this. We got to forgive him. You understand? But if we was to step out or we were to do something, we're vilified. So where is that imbalance? Why do men? What is the reason why you think men really take advantage of women? Because it happens. You know?
I'm gonna let my man. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like, where does it come from?
There is a mental illness.
Mm.
Sometimes there's a mental illness.
Okay.
And people don't understand. A lot of times you have entered into a relationship with a person who has an undiagnosed mental illness.
Mm.
Some people are narcissistic. And that narcissism causes them to do things like gaslighting and all types of stuff. But that is a mental illness. There's something wrong. Then you have those who you've entered into this relationship with, and because we don't think, especially in the Black community, we don't really think in terms of mental illness when it comes to dating. And I think that hurts us because we don't know the signs. We don't know what we're looking for. A lot of people within our community have been abused from childhood. So they would have developed mental illness. They would have developed something that causes them to act out in certain ways. And it's like, so because we don't talk about that in our community, we don't know what it looks like. We don't know what that is, and we never apply it to dating. Never. Until it's too late, until it's all gone, and our lives have been turned upside down. One of the main reasons why, even in dating, I just do one at a time now, is because it allows me to see the red flags. When you have too many people dating too many people at one time, you don't get to see the red flags because you got so much going on. You're distracted by all of the people that you can't really concentrate on the one to see. Let's see what's really going on with you. Let's see what's really happening with you and I.
Yeah.
So like I said, one is mental illness, and then the other is lack of it is a self-esteem issue. Some men have no type of self-esteem.
Yeah.
So their self-esteem has to come through how they can make you feel. I'll make you feel lower than I feel so I can feel better about myself. It becomes a power play. It becomes a struggle for power. A struggle for what I can control because I can't control myself. Most people who manipulate because they cannot control themselves. So when you control yourself, it's called discipline. When you control others, it's called manipulation. If I can't control me, I have to control everything around me.
Yeah.
I can feel good.
I always said I'm attracted to a disciplined man. So you said when I can control me, it's discipline, but if I control others, it's manipulation.
It's manipulation.
And that literally forms into narcissism.
Absolutely.
Like I said, everything that my man was saying, I'm 100% on with him or whatever, like I said. But somebody that is up in the comments has said something that I said earlier to you all. We can get away with a lot of things that we do because y'all allow it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Y'all allow it to happen. Why? Because y'all so open, y'all so nurturing, y'all so welcoming to get, and so happy to have somebody into your life. Y'all don't know what y'all getting. Y'all see that brother there over there looks good, got all his money, you know, yada yada. Oh, I can get him, I want him, and I get him, so on, so on. Not knowing this dude is sleeping with multiple women, not knowing this dude beats women, not knowing this woman, he's a womanizer, not knowing all this stuff, whatever. But you had to have the person because you wanted him. He looked so good, he looked so tempting. And that's what you wanted or whatever. So y'all not taking the time as well to not do your homework, regardless at the end of the day. I'm not saying I'm blaming women. It's not even a blame game because, like I said, I can blame you, you can blame it. Everybody's at fault at this point in time. Everybody's at fault time. So what will you allow you to happen in your life? You have to take control of your life and and what you're gonna allow to, what you're gonna accept in your heart and mind. So like I said, so that's why it's so easy to keep saying, it's always the saying like, when women they break up with me and like, blah blah blah, you suck, you can't do this, you blah blah blah, and what all they gotta do is just sit and say, I still hit though, didn't I? Right. There's no comeback from that. There's no comeback from that. So just like this, just like what I just said, y'all allow it. Stop allowing things to happen in your life. Take control of your own life and who you allow in your life. You might see something completely different. I'm not saying it's the answer, but you just might see something completely different. That's all I.
No, I agree with that because
good stuff.
Yeah, because that's real. Because once I literally began to take control over who I allow and what I allow, a lot of people just fell off.
Yeah, you're going to get tested, but for the most part, absolutely. It was some verse or something in Matthew. I'm not the most religious person, I'm spiritual, but it was basically saying that, in a nutshell, it's what we allow, and you don't have to prove yourself to anybody because they will fall off. And they do. I don't even have the same friends I've had 5 years ago. Yeah. Because of my development and my growth within myself. So people aren't used to the new, more confident, more self-esteem, more I don't take no stuff to me. They like the more I'm accessible, I'm nice. Anytime I ask for something, it's a yes. So they're going to drop off. Because at the end of the day, the real, the fake gets exposed. And the person is going to be there for you through your up, down, whatever, whether it's friendship or not. So I appreciate what you said. That was good stuff. But can I ask you, do you guys ever, women, I think we take accountability more, and I think we check each other a lot, like, sis, now you wild. Do men, I feel like I could see a group of men, and they cool with their boys, they popping bottles, but after 10-man crew, 6 of y'all deadbeat dads, and your boy know that. And if that's your boy, he should tell you or try to help you. Hey, man, is there anything I do? I see your name out stressing. Is there anything I do? Or let me kick it with you. I got a job over here. Because I feel like men just ignore their boys. They always got the answers for what women should be doing. But you got your whole mans right there that treat his woman like crap, that beat up on his woman, but don't take care of his kids. But y'all popping bottles and y'all dance with him, and then y'all first think, man, that's not my business. But that's your friend. But your friend, relationship, some things do become your business to care about. And I don't feel like men doing it.
In relationships, you hold each other accountable.
Period. Kids, relationship with your kids, relationship with your man, your boy, whatever. There has to be some type of accountability there in business or whatever. And when men are, I find it to be very funny. But then that same man could tell a woman what to do. And I don't respect, you can tell a woman how to act, but you can't even approach your own boy. I don't feel like that's a leader. And I feel like it's kind of cowardice when you easy to come to your woman and tell her what she should be doing, but you got your own boy right there that you know forever. You know he ain't treating that kid good. Or whomever, the woman, you don't even give him a little bit of advice. You know what I'm saying? What is that about? Because I feel like a lot of ego has to, there's ego.
I would say not all men are like that, because there are some of us that are telling their boys like, yo, you need to go see your kid. Like, I've been to the little section on the side of the courthouse, child support, with one of my boys, and it's a sad place to be. And you go, your mom like, look, man, you're in this predicament because you popping bottles. You might want to get a Sprite. You can't call it a day. Send something. If you can't do anything, find something. Don't be home playing a game, not unless you're playing a game for money. Find some type of job. And yeah, some people are gonna let their friends be deadbeat, but it's all about the company that you keep. And sometimes the friends you have around you tells a lot about yourself. Not saying that they're bad people, but sometimes your friends want to grow up and you want to grow up. So, and it goes both ways, because I know some females who just like sleeping around to get that check. But I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna call nobody.
Absolutely.
I'll stay on this side of the fence. But yeah, there are a lot of guys. There are a lot of guys who check their boys, and you gotta understand if they girl allow that, then what am I really doing?
It don't. There you go.
If
That's
that
exactly
girl
what
is
I'm about to say.
allowing that, then what am I really doing? Because if my boy don't do what he's supposed to do, I'll go to child support court with him. I'll go in that little room where they're about to pass that judgment and take something out of his check. And I'm just like, Dad, man, that really do stuff. And he, because I'm his friend, he gonna be like, man, I should have listened to you. You're right. But men correct men different ways, because if a man do too much, then a man might take that disrespectfully. So it's all in
Right.
how we do it. It's all in how we do it and how we say it.
Right.
I want to provoke you to do what you're supposed to do versus challenge you as a man or making you feel like I'm better than you. Because I can be mature in some areas and you're immature, but likewise, you're mature in some areas and I'm immature in some areas. So that's how it is with men. Not all men are like that. I'm sorry for the guys who do that, but they're not in my circle.
I mean, the truth of the matter is we have women like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are some women that don't act right. They get that child support money, and next thing you know,
They fly. They got nice clothes.
and them kids.
Man.
And all women do not check women.
No, they don't. They don't. They don't.
We got
Man.
family, right? We don't. We got family, and we don't. Who in the world?
All I can set up is just to kind of piggyback off of what my man just said.
Somebody's knocking on
Oh, I can wait. I'll wait.
his door. How do you feel about that? Because when I heard some guys talking, it was some celebrities. It was Joe Buttons and his friends, and they were saying they made a pact now that they're not going to hang out with deadbeat dads with their friends. They just don't want that a part of their circle. So when I heard, the other young man say that that's just not a part of his circle. Yeah, I get it. You know what? And it's right. So we don't always. The key is right. We don't always check each other as women.
And yeah, like I said,
But with women, I think it's different.
Mm-hmm. What you say, Shelby? I'm sorry.
Women, I think is different because I know of a situation where there's a chick, she's not doing right. Like she doesn't really do what she's supposed to do with child support, this, that, and the other, right? And she can be mean. She talks down to men. She does whatever, all the things that a woman should check another woman for. She cuts you off when you disagree with her. So you see she doesn't really have many friends. So as women, we will do that. If you don't agree with me, I'll cut you off and I'm going over here to this person who's going to listen. So you either going to have that person that's going to be the peanut gallery and be like, oh yeah, girl, and not check you, or you're going to have people that check you and you're going to keep pushing that person away.
Right.
Yeah.
And like
everybody is not open to feedback. Everybody is not mature enough to take
true.
that.
Some women are very defensive and stubborn, and when you try to say something, it's like, you got to have your armor up. It's not a comfortable place. I agree with you, Shelby.
So I was kind of going to piggyback off what my man was just saying about that. Like I said, men, a lot of times we're very cautious about how we approach another man because number one, it's it's kind of I ain't gonna call it a macho thing, a pride ego thing or whatever, but it is, like sometimes you just can't like, man, no, I handle my own business. Don't get into my business type thing. So you got a lot of that to deal with, number one. So I can just sit up and speak on my experience. There was a guy who he's a couple years older than me or whatever, what I'm saying? Who that was my dog. I was going through my divorce. He's freshly married when I met him. He just got married, just had a newborn baby, all this stuff or whatever, So everything, that's my dog. We smoke cigars all the time. We everywhere all together. All it took was a female to come to intervene or whatever, what I'm saying? And because she was liking me at first, and I didn't want her. So he started messing with her. The problem is he's a married man with a wife and a child. So, I'm telling him, look, man, we can go out. I don't mind hanging out with you. But why are you bringing her out when your wife knows people? Like, oh man, she all right, everything gonna be all right. So, and I bring that to him, what I'm saying? He gets mad at me because I'm interfering in his life or whatever. So when he gets caught doing it, I want to make sure I'm not around because I love his wife. Like, she's so cool with me. I didn't want that on me. What I'm saying? Like, oh, you let him do that, Trey. You didn't bring it to me. I'd just rather separate myself from the entire thing and let him deal with it. You know, let them go through their problem, whatever. Because, like I said, that's what he wants to fight me. He want to do all this stuff just because I don't want to hang around with him anymore because he's cheating. I don't accept his ways of cheating. You know what I'm saying? So again, everybody is completely different. So you got to be careful how you talk to somebody. And, you know, if my man, what's your name again? I don't want to call you Teddy, man.
Marcus. I forgot his name too, because they didn't name him Teddy.
So if Marcus is acting up right now and I'm his friend or whatever, and I bring something to him, if Marcus is not ready to receive that, I gotta learn to stand. I gotta know how to bring that to him, how to talk to him or whatever. And if it's to a point where he's not gonna listen and be hostile, you know, I have to take, as a man, I have to take a step back because we have to learn our own lessons anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to learn. He's gonna learn it. He can learn it the hard way, but you will learn a lesson eventually. Yeah, you will grow out of it. Or you gonna something's gonna grow into it that you're not gonna like. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's completely different. It's how you approach somebody and what you're gonna accept. Is that the company you keep? People who's doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? Is that the company you keep? That lets you know who you are. So, like I said, I'm perfectly fine. I'm at peace. I stay away from myself. This just recently happened just last year. What I'm talking about, when I said we were tight for almost 2 years. All it took was a woman to do it, and me trying to correct him and trying to help him. Like, look, man, don't do it. You got a wife, you got a newborn baby, man. What are you doing?
Right.
All right, leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, for me, we gotta understand where our partner's coming from and how to approach that. They're gonna learn their lesson, like I said, some way or another. They're gonna learn a lesson.
No, I can get with that. Okay, I can get with that too. I can get with that too because you can't force anybody not to do nothing. But as long as you know you played your part as a friend and said, "Hey," then after a while you gotta just kind of fall back. Yeah, you did your part. No, I fall back over plenty of people. Me too. It's people I don't even say anything anymore when it comes to that because I know what I'm gonna. No, because birds of a feather is not fucking together. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We can't do that. I can't have a friendship, a man, or anything that I feel like when it's time for me to voice something or I feel like they're wrong and I have to tell them, that's always defensive. We're not going to work out. It's just not. I have zero tolerance. I'm not trying to work with somebody that only sees their side and not open-minded. I can't. It's like talking to a doorknob. You're getting nowhere. You're getting nowhere. It just doesn't matter. And you don't have to agree to be open-minded. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, let's be clear. I'm not for Trump, but I understand some of his policies. And even with me saying that, and I see some people that are very closed-minded, I have a podcast. So I get Facebook jumped all the time. I mean, I have thick skin. I get fake. They come after me because they like me. You know what I'm saying? They admire me. So they expect me because my whole thing is about the black man and how I honor him and blah, blah, blah. So I get this huge male following. But the minute I start to say, I see their mindset. Well, I see this or I understand this or I might have to spank the men today because you ain't doing right. Like, you know, another thing. You want to ask about that? Sorry, y'all. They over here running water and stuff. Oh, they're doing it. Go ahead. I don't know if you guys, and I'm going to ask you too, Shelby, if you've been seeing this narrative about black women not feeling protected by black men. And I feel like there's a bunch of variables to that. And I'm like, you know, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you saw these viral videos where a guy from New York is smacked a girl in the face with a skateboard because she didn't want to talk to him. Then there was another. I don't want to mispronounce her name. Oluwatoya. She was a 19-year-old African activist, very strong. She was killed by another brother, you know, raped and killed. So when we start to say that we don't feel protected, how do you feel like? Because I have different variables about why some men don't and why some men do. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to get your take on that as far as. Because I think that's a lot to do with relationships too. Like Shelby was saying, she want to feel protected. She don't want to feel like she was a chunk. And at the end of the day, that's what black women want. We want to feel protected. You know, if I'm with my man, I think that's where the macho-ness comes in, right? Yeah. Am I saying that right, Shelby?
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Like, why do you think that is? Why do you think that the black man
I feel like this.
Protecting the black woman like they, I guess, used to?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
No, I was asked, like, you know, it's this narrative of as a lot of black women aren't feeling protected by black men. Like
a lot of men don't know how to protect. They can't even protect themselves. So you know, like, you can't get somebody graduate high school today. They graduate high school today and expect them to know how to go out and, you know what I'm saying, start a business or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can't, if they don't know what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, if they don't have that energy around them or somebody around them to help mentor them, which is what we need a lot of, especially Black young men, or whatever, to help mentor, to help them be a better person, then of course, I mean, they're gonna women. The women that they date are not gonna feel protected no matter what it is that goes on and happens in life. They don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, like I said, and even the ones that do know how to take care of one, sometimes everybody's expectations, a lot of, and I would say men, you know, some women have some very unrealistic expectations as well about being taken care of as well.
We go on a third date, we done married you already.
Yeah, you know, some things are just unrealistic or whatever. But you know, like I said, because you see everybody else, you live in somebody else like, oh, that's my relationship goal. I want that. No, what? Have your own. Have somebody look at your relationship instead of you looking at somebody else's relationship. That's what I want. Have your own. Have somebody else want what you have between you. So that's just a little snippet. Now I'm gonna let anybody else go what they want to say.
That was good stuff. How do you feel,
I
Shelby?
I think the biggest problem is this. Number one, it's not Black men who don't protect. It may be a Black male, but they're not a Black man.
Okay.
Black men protect.
Yes.
That's just what it is.
Yes.
Now you have that like the incident you was talking about with the girl who got smacked in the face with that skateboard. That dude obviously was not a man. He was obviously a boy. He was obviously low self-esteem, probably some mental issues, because only someone with mental issues is going to hit a woman in the face with a skateboard. Also, we have to recognize this, that men protect, but the question is, number one, if we're talking about relationships, have you chosen a man, or have you just chosen a grown adolescent? It's a big difference. Number two, we have a situation where, just like my brother said, these men or these boys that you're talking about, they have no clue.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They have no clue on how to. But the reason they have no clue is because they've been disconnected from their emotions. When you care about something, you will not allow it to be harmed.
Yeah.
In order for you not to care about a woman, and you're a man, or you're a boy, or you're a male, for you not to care about a woman says that somewhere along the line, you've unplugged yourself from your emotions.
Ooh.
Because if you really wanted to talk to that girl, and you really wanted to get that girl's number, you're not smacking her in the face with a skateboard. That means that you had other intentions for this girl. There were other intentions going on. That you wanted to use that girl for something else other than getting to know her and being with her. It's just the truth of the matter.
Right.
So again,
probably ego too, man.
I'm sorry, y'all. Just bear with the key up for a moment. She's building issues, little flirting.
A lot of ego was probably hurt as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So I can agree. A lot of his ego is like he didn't. I got embarrassed. He didn't talk to me. Okay, well let me embarrass you now. So that's an immature person, whatever. But I sent off a little private message as well, whatever. I have some kids I got to tend to, so I got to step away from the podcast or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's been fun.
Yes.
Invite me back to the next one. I would
step away. We love you, Dre. You've been so awesome. Thank you. And informative. I like to hear a man's perspective.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's great.
Mark, you said, what's up there, bro? What's my other man's name? What's your name? My man over there with you. What's your name, man?
My name?
No, the brother right back up here, Dre.
Oh,
with hair. The other brother with hair.
The other brother with dreads. Jamel.
Oh, me. My name is Jamel.
Jamel, it was nice.
And I'm gonna get your information so we can follow each other.
Good meeting you, bro.
Yeah, y'all too. Trust me, she follows me because we talk noise She know my pain, so trust me. So y'all be easy. Let me.
All right, cool. Definitely.
So
Take care. Nice meeting you.
You as well. Y'all have a good
get
night.
your information so we can follow each other, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
I have a hard stop at 9, so instead of interrupting the conversation, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just exit out as well. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you, Shelby.
Take care. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Shelby.
And then there was 4.
Right.
This is awesome. You're gonna have to show me what you're doing.
Yeah, it's through StreamYard. Trying to figure out. No, not that view. I don't even care. I'm sorry, y'all, but the so-called plumber is here, but they literally just flooded my entire apartment. So this is what happens when you don't have a man.
Where's the good old man when we need one? Because she could have been just doing a podcast while her man was doing all that good bathroom stuff.
I would have flooded their apartment.
This is what happens.
Y'all are needed. That's why I can't stand when women be like, I don't need no man. I be like, let her speak for herself.
Please let us speak for herself.
I do.
This just pissed me right on good and off.
I got things in my apartment right now that needs to be put together, and I don't have a clue. I need a good old man. I don't know what these women be talking about. They don't need a man. What they be talking about?
John, ain't nobody. First, let me. You know what? See, I be trying not to address stuff publicly, but since you just put
He doing a lot.
since you just put that on a good book and said, "Oh wow, I told you I'll come to you." Let's deal with what you did tell me. Over a year ago, you have been saying the same thing and not following through. This is the reason why I stopped communicating with you. I do not deal with inconsistent people. If you do not offer consistency within your word, I do not deal with you. And you have been saying this for over a year. So therefore, this is the reason why I do not. So that's why we're going to stop that because I'm real. Okay.
Well,
with real situations here.
Inconsistency is a turnoff.
No, inconsistency is
complete.
a turner.
Complete.
It definitely
That's
is.
A deal breaker. I
It
can't.
is.
I don't even deal with that.
I don't deal with people that can't keep their word. I don't deal with people that can't hold their word. I don't deal with none of that. All that inconsistent foolery, it literally does something to
That's
me.
right.
So,
That's
no,
right.
John, you already know why, because I told you why. So we're not gonna put this publicly. Well, it's already public.
Well, bye, John. No.
That's what we're gonna say.
No.
All right. Dealing with a situation here with a whole damn
that's
waste done flooded because these people that told me run the water for 10 minutes. How you gonna tell somebody run the water for 10 minutes and you ain't even snake yet? No, you should have snaked that line first and then tell me to run water.
Right.
Anyway, okay, this is where I'm at, dealing with plumbers and stuff, okay?
That's why we need a good old man. So any woman that's talking about she don't need a man, she's just burnt and hurt and still haven't gone through her pain, honey, because I don't need a man. I don't need a man for your money. I don't need a man for this. But let me tell you something. I don't like sleeping alone. A man could please me better than I can please myself. I can't reach that. I can't lift. Listen, I need a man. It ain't a one. I need him to be that force in my life.
Your talk.
You understand?
Talk your talk.
Real talk. Women are lying when they say don't need you. I look at some women. Let me tell you something. You don't want to know one of my biggest fears, and I don't really fear stuff, is being like 65 or 70 and alone. I don't want to be that.
Yeah, I don't want to be that either.
I want to be with my old man. We traveling. We're in our RV. We going across the country. I need to live up. Take our grandkids when we feel like it. That type of stuff. I don't want to be by myself. I've seen that with my mom. She's a strong woman and she can handle everything. But my mother deserved at 71 years old to have her old man laid up with her. You know what I'm saying? Come on and lay up. Come on, belly, old man.
Y'all might have to go younger.
We rubbing belly. That's right. We rub that good old belly. That's that success belly. You earned that belly. You work hard. You take care of these kids. You earned that belly, baby. We appreciate that belly. Right? Cheers.
All of the belly. Okay?
Yes.
Boom.
Y'all saw that? That was in unison. See what I'm saying? That's when it's togetherness.
Good energy. You're gonna be seeing me and the kid do a lot together.
Nah, but I appreciate, you know what, all jokes aside, like, so that damn Dre, I love Dre because I love his post. They crack me up. Dre keeps it all the way funky, all the way real.
Love it. Love it. I try to go by that too. I don't know how to not be. When I don't want to say something, I try to restrain from it, because if you make me say something, it's like now I'm putting you on blast because I have to be real. I don't like, yeah. So,
but I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? Because Dre, listen, I don't think y'all got Dre Hogan on that good book. He will have you dying, because I sometimes read them posts. I'm like, I wish I could share this, but I can't. But this is hilarious right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a real raw deal when it comes to relationships from a male perspective.
That's how I like it. Yeah.
Then he has this whole thing where he do like Ask Andre, and it's just hilarious because people literally ask him questions in the inbox, and he'll post them anonymously, and people will answer, and it goes from 0 to 100 real quick. And Marcus and Jamel have been literally rocking out with me from the beginning of this podcast.
Are they from Jersey?
Of course.
Mel's in New York. Okay. Marcus is in Maryland, but they have literally been rocking out with me from the beginning.
Nice. Okay? Yes, Black man. Yes, Black man. For real. Supporting his sisters. I know y'all out there. People be trying to say Almendo. I hate that narrative. I don't even like the word masculine. Remember we're gonna touch that masculine toxicity. I know it's a thing, but what is
toxic? So basically, so when they say toxic masculinity, what they're talking about is something that I believe Jamel touched on, where men, or it was either Jamel or one of y'all, when y'all touched on where y'all said men are raised, I think it was Jamel, not to share their emotion, not to show emotion, just to be, nah, you a punk, don't do that, we don't cry. And you know, we all, I know for me, my nephew, when he used to cry when he was young, I'd be like, oh, you a girl?
Oh,
that is
because we're trained.
Yeah, and that's toxic masculinity. And sometimes we don't recognize that when we do that to a man, we're literally telling him
toxicity.
Well, yeah, we're telling him that he's not, he should be devoid of emotion. So then we get stuck with these men that are devoid of emotion and wonder why we can't connect with them, because they ain't never had nobody tell them that it was okay to have an emotion.
That's right. That's what I do with my son. And he's 12, and I stop my brothers. Like I said, they're super masculine men. And one day his feelings was hurt about something. You know, he didn't do well on his test in math, and you know, we pay all this money for private school. His father's a big educator. He wanted to prove to his dad that he could do well in math. Mind you, he got straight A's and 1 F. He needs that one-on-one time. Long story short, he broke his heart because he really wanted to make his dad happy. And then, you know, my brother came in and was like, what you crying for? I'm like, wait a minute. No. We're not raising male toxicity. We're not raising a man to a king to believe that he can't be in touch with his emotions. That's not what we're doing. And I had to reverse that because I started seeing him holding in his tears. And I had to let him know, like, you were given tear ducts for a reason. It's so you're not going to cry all the time. We're not going to do that. But your feelings are really hurt. And I don't mind you crying because you got a bad grade. That means you want greatness in your life. That's real tears. You crying because you got a bad grade. I don't matter that.
No, like you said, you striving for something more.
You striving for to be the best, and you don't want to disappoint your dad. So you got emotion. Have your little 5 minutes, and then we're going to talk about it. You know?
Count his time.
No, I ain't going to count it. I'm just saying it in my head. Go have your moment. No.
I'm joking.
But I still I'm like, we ain't gonna cry over that now. That's not what.
But what I don't understand is why they don't call some toxic femininity?
Oh, I was talking. Can we get into it? For a second? Because people try to say that there's no such thing as toxic femininity.
Yes, there is.
Women molest boys. Okay. Women rape. Women date men just for money. Women use their feminine. Let me tell you.
Manipulate. Women can be narcissistic. Women can be. Hello.
I've seen it. I've seen women abuse men on the other side. They only pick weaker type men. That's toxic. I was saying one time, like when I go, just real talk, when I go on interviews, right? If I ever have to go to an interview, and it's a woman interviewing me, I come a little more serious. I might put on the fake glasses, you know, say, come in my suit, because I know we women, we understand each other, trying to mean business. When it's a man interviewing me, and I find out, I might put in a little, and I don't even have to like him, but I know that 5 minutes in the 3 to 5 minutes in the conversation, you ain't even worried about my background no more. You trying to get to know me, and it's easier for the interview.
It is.
I don't know how toxic it is, but I know I use my femininity to get what I want in a job for certain things, not money, you know what I'm saying, but for a position. Because I know that you're gonna like the way I talk, and now we're engaging, and you didn't forgot about the interview. You're just interested in having me here. You're interested in my personality. I'm not leading with sex, but I'm leading with you being interested in just me as a person. And now we segue from the interview, and I got the job. With a woman, you got. So I don't know if that's toxic, but I know I'm using my femininity to get what I want. You feel what I'm saying? In that aspect, it ain't
because with a woman, you can't use your femininity to get what you want with a woman, because a woman is going to be more focused.
Absolutely.
On what are the qualifications?
That's it. That's it. She don't care how you look. What can you do the job? I meant like, oh,
there are some men that really will be focused on that because
100.
that's their drive. But then there are others that you can literally charm.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's toxic, but I can charm them because I don't feel like going through this grueling, tedious interview that you're going to be like, what's your background? What's this? So I know if I make you smile a little bit, we can kind of deter the conversation. And I'd rather you like my personality than knowing my background and education because I just want the job.
One of the keys to interviewing is for them to like your personality.
There you go. So it's not really toxic in a way. It's just a part of
but it is a way to.
It's a little toxic. Yeah. I'm not sexualizing it, but but I know if I flash a little smile and they gonna.
But you gotta flash a smile and then what? You gotta hit a key.
Gotta hit it. He with that. So, but no, like, and a lot of men don't come out talking about women molesting them because their fathers or people laughing like, oh man, you got it in when you years old. And really they're hurting, and now they're over sexualizing women when they meet them because their introduction to sex was by some narcissistic, disgusting women. And most men that I talked to, they said that the first time they had sex was when they was like 7, 10, 11, with their babysitters. 30% of the men I talk to, that is their, and they don't talk about it because even though it hurts them, they're looked at as, come on, man. And that's toxic. You know what I'm saying? I think that's sad. And that creates masculine toxicity. Because it's females that are toxic as well.
I think because women are the nurturers in the relationship to their children, because women are the caregivers, I might get crucified for saying this, but I'm going to say it. Female toxicity births male toxicity. Because even if
it's worse than male toxicity,
I said female toxicity births male toxicity.
Oh yeah.
Because the man, as a boy child, my father may be hard on me, but I look to my mother to nurture me. So there should be times, even when dad is hard on me, that when dad leaves the room, mom is there like, now come here and talk to me. What happened? Let me know what's going on with you. How are you feeling? All right. Okay, that's what's going on. Now you know why your father did what's, she's that part that's supposed to talk and communicate to that softer side of the man so he can grow up balanced. But if she doesn't do that, and she's the one, if a mother is the one telling that child, shut your mouth. What are you, a little faggot? You've heard all of that.
Oh my God.
You've heard all of that. And I'm talking about, I have been walking the streets and I've seen mothers talk to their 3-year-olds like that, their 2-year-olds. And I have to stop and go like, miss, please, this is a 2-year-old child. He don't even know what you say.
Right.
But until we really deal with that toxic nature that is within us because of those unresolved issues, because of those uncommunicated pains, it's male toxicity. A lot of times male toxicity comes from a man not being able to verbalize how he feels. And when a person when you rob somebody of their voice, when you rob somebody of their ability to communicate, they act out. They might not even know they're acting out, but they act out. And you're sitting there, why are you acting like this? Because you stolen that man's voice. You stolen that boy's voice.
Right.
And without that voice to express how I feel, you can never truly understand me. So now you build walls and divides. And what's really crazy is that once those divides and those walls are built, what happens is society looks for people who has those issues and they target them psychologically.
Yeah.
Psychologically, look what's on my TV. Look at how you look at Love and Hip Hop. You see how the men talk to the women and how the men talk to the women and how the women talk to the men.
To the men, yes. I can't even watch this show.
It's toxic. But society monetizes our toxicity.
Yeah.
And they keep it going. And they keep it going. And they keep it going. Because all it is for them is the bottom line for them is it's money. Right. No matter who gets crushed or hurt. So the toxic male is born from the toxic female. When the female learns how to deal with her issue, the male, and then she can teach and nurture her male child in those same ways, he can then break that cycle. He can then break that what in church they'll call a generational curse.
Right.
You know, and when you break that, then you open up a whole line in your family that's exposed to better, to greater, to more. So that's how I feel about it.
Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. I appreciate that. That's a thing. I really yeah, I know what female toxicity is. I've experienced it. You know.
Who hasn't?
Yeah. I've experienced it with other women. Yeah. And they'll bring that and they'll latch themselves onto you. And that's why I'm like, I've experienced it, I've seen it. And it goes back to accountability and knowing yourself. You know, the saddest thing is when you see people die and they didn't even get to understand themselves and have accountability. Like when I was able to start taking constructive criticism, my life became way better when I wasn't so defensive. And I understand how we are, and just generally speaking as Black people or whatever, why we can be defensive. It's like we've been fighting all our life for certain things on the block, on the school, and it is. I get it. But the day you recognize it and want to be better, that's how I always say we create our own reality at the end of the day.
We do.
You know, we create our own reality. You know, if you constantly keep saying something is bad, it's going to be bad. You're speaking it into existence. Or if you constantly keep saying there's no good people or there's no this, that's all you're going to bump into. You know, I'm a firm believer that I meet good Black men every day. And I understand that every one of them is not supposed to be with me romantically. That's what women... That's a part of our toxic behavior. We meet a man on the first day. By Wednesday, we walking down the aisle with you in your head. We having a whole situation in our head with you, and you ain't even a part of it. You don't even know.
So I mean, it's not toxic because
not toxic yet.
Well, some of it is, right?
The way you act out, or sometimes you think a man owe you something, and he like, oh.
That's where it becomes toxic. Right. I know for a good 8 years, I had a man in my head. Don't judge me.
Oh, I've had men in my. I'm preaching to the choir. I met you and you treated me great 3 days. I'm married to you. We done have 4 kids. I know what kids look like.
No, I've had that 8 years. I was like, you know, there's my man in my head.
Right.
I don't even care. But it was all up in my good head. It wasn't reality or nothing. It was just what I had envisioned in my good head. That's what it was.
Right.
Even though he was dating to see people, and I was just like, he's still my man in my head, though. Yes.
Right. No, I know.
I think you said something real key there. Everybody you meet, you're not supposed to be with romantically.
Period. Yeah.
And I think because we don't set boundaries for ourselves, or the boundaries do set are unhealthy for us. Mm-hmm. Also, our standards are jacked up when it comes to relationships, that we wind up trying to be in a relationship with a person we should have never been involved with in that way. And that, therefore, it leads to trauma, or it leads to embarrassment. Mm-hmm. All the above, all the below. You know, just because a person looks nice and smell nice, don't mean that's the person for you.
There you go.
You got.
And
they don't even look nice.
Yeah, some of them don't even look nice.
And get that ugly dude to shit.
Look, it's something. You know, sometimes people just have the right words to speak to you right where you're at. Maybe you really did buy those shoes and you thought they were cute, and somebody just so happened to have the same taste and like, man, those shoes look nice on you, and they match the color of your toes. You'd be like, oh, he pays attention. Yeah, he just so happened to like shoes. That don't mean that y'all should be together. You know, take it for what it is. Learn how to be able to take a compliment.
Right.
Sometimes I can't be a friend to a female, especially not a single female, because it makes other people uncomfortable. Why does it make it uncomfortable? Oh, well, y'all should talk. No, we shouldn't. We should just be friends.
Right.
And you can't place your fears on someone else. What happened to having quality friendships? We can't bounce these off appropriate people because society has told us two healthy adults can't be friends. They gotta be doing something on the back burner on the side when nobody ain't looking.
Right.
Secret phone number or secret text or code words. Like, no, we're just friends.
Right.
That's what we are. Yeah, we talk. Yeah, we hang out. Well, you want me to stay home? Because if I stay home all day, then I'm gonna create a desperation within myself. So
That's right.
I need those friends. I can't be around males all the time because I know how I'm going to get. I can't be around females all the time because
right.
some females, like I said, look at it ain't good for me to be around though.
Because you know yourself, you're saying.
Yes, I know myself.
Marcus can't be around older, tall females.
Yes, I cannot. I'm telling you, I love females who are older than me. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it's something that just, the blood starts flowing. And thank you, Jesus. Amen. I'll leave it there. Yes, I
because they know themselves a little more, and you don't have to go.
I wouldn't even say that. That's just what I'm into right now.
Wow.
That's just what I'm into. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm experiencing something.
Right. The older women out there, we looking good, honey. Look at our 40s, honey.
Yeah, I looked over in the corner a couple of times, like, can I see a little bit more? No.
I'm older than Kia.
Look, the first time I seen the Kia, I had to turn my head.
What you say, Marcus?
The first time I seen you, I had to turn my head. I said, and the Kia tell you the first time we seen each other was in church. I was up there on the piano and I had to remember I was there for another reason.
Oh,
but it is what it is. It is what it is. Everybody that look, that's the perfect example. Look, every time just because you see somebody and they look nice, don't mean that's the person you're supposed to be with.
That's right.
Why are you meeting?
That's right.
Who would have thought we would have been on the podcast? I didn't even talk to Nakia the first time I met her. I think we said something in passing. And that was it. Then it turned into, hey, you want to be on the podcast? Cool.
Love it.
Yeah, but it's something about an older black woman. Jesus Christ. All right.
You know that good old black don't crack, honey.
Right. They don't even have to be old. I don't even have to put older, just seasoned, just a little something. The numbers change.
Make your request known, brother. Make your request known.
Huh?
The number's just a little bit higher than mine. I mean, and I don't discriminate with younger girls. I'm just saying, it's just right now, that's just where I'm at, and I'm going to stay right there. Yeah, I'm going to stay right there.
Duke said the muzzle is off. I'm like,
the muzzle is all the way up. I just want to make sure when you get up, you caddy corner, because we don't need Marcus seeing what you got on the bottom.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If one age range ain't working, stay in an appropriate age range and go up.
How we get it?
Look, you'll be surprised. Let me find out. I clearly looked left, and when the key was on my right, first time I seen it, I was like, I can't do this the whole service. Praise the Lord. I'm comfortable with myself. Right now, I just got this thing for older women. It is what it is. 39.
What's your sign?
41? Huh?
What's your sign?
Oh, I'm a Taurus, so I got to tell you.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, yeah.
I mean what I say. I say what I mean. It is.
I'll believe that alone, because I'm on here to talk about relationships, right?
That's how relationships go. It didn't work out for me.
Look again, Dania. You know what? Y'all over here. She over here talking about we making matches. No, we are not.
Well, y'all gotta join my group, the Pink Elephant, on Facebook, because we do that. We make matches and everything. We just gave away a couple $100 for my birthday. Are you in my group?
No.
Oh, I gotta invite you to my group.
You
Sheesh.
should.
No, I'm gonna do that immediately.
Over here.
So Jadoni posted us. He's so happy we together.
Oh.
Oh, big Seth. He gave me a lot of my start.
Oh,
You gotta meet him. Yeah. I got some people to connect you with.
Jamel, you got something to say? Because Marcus up here to let it all out. I'm over here saying, but Duke talking about yes, Kia. Y'all have to do a Zoom day. Duke, you know what?
I'm just like this. Hey, yo, Marcus, do your thing, bro. Put your request in. Let it be known.
I say that all the time. If you want somebody,
closed mouths don't get fed.
That's preach.
Daniel said, I can see him. Daniel said, I can see him with my good eye. You know what, Daniel? You in that good eye. You feel me? I'm over this. You know what? Because listen, now, y'all not going to be clapping. Daniel, I'm gonna call you after this whole thing is over because we're not doing this on this good podcast today.
Yeah, we don't
y'all done showed out today. Okay.
Hey, we have to talk about attraction. What attracts? You gonna be surprised. It's a lot of young guys out here.
What is going on right now?
And Jamel over here cracking up too, like this. You know what?
Marcus is coming clean. Marcus is like, listen, I'm gonna bet this is it. I surrender all.
No, I wouldn't have said nothing if she didn't put me out there. She was like, "Oh, Marcus can't be around them tall older women." I was like, "Oh, ain't no shame in my game." If I might start sweating.
Say it like it is.
I'm not gonna be calm and reserved because I know what I like and what I already told you. Sometimes what I like ain't good for me, but I still gonna respond. Yes.
I mean, it's you. Oh, good old Taurus, honey.
You know what? That could be a good song too.
What
you just said.
I'm telling you.
I appreciate a transparent and an honest person. I really do.
That's a good rap right there.
There you go.
Yeah, tall women are in. What?
Tall women are in. Look at Meg Thee Stallion. Not for nothing. That like in Texas, anybody that's tall and stacked, they call stallions. That's like the men in Texas are not intimidated by tall women. They want that. They're like, oh, that's a stallion right there. That's why Meg got her name because she's like 5'10", 5'11", or something like that. And
keep going up.
So that's like in Texas, y'all like wanted. Y'all like unicorns out there.
I'm not that tall.
Huh?
But you got long legs. How tall are you?
I'm like almost 5'7". I'm not that tall.
You on the side of 5'7".
5'7" is a little tall. I think anything over 5'5" you consider to be tall.
And then she put on those heels, looking at a 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah. Depending on where she going, she 5'12" with them heels.
Uh-huh.
What is that 5'12"? Daniel was like, yeah, she taller with heels. Yeah.
She got 5'10" with heels.
Comments too. They loving it too.
I'm sorry, Kia.
Look, and that's
nothing. Black. They loving you right now.
That's nothing wrong.
I don't even know how this like how this came about.
You gave one little segue. He jumped right into
all I was saying was,
you know good and well not to call me out.
You open that door, Nakia.
Jamel, do not ride this wave.
Hey, somebody said they want to ride. They would definitely ride that horse. So.
Duke said Megan is beautiful. Duke, you know what?
Hey, let me tell you, there's some young guys out here looking for some older black women, and look, y'all open to a couple digits younger than your age. You might be surprised.
The young ones be coming hard.
They be coming hard.
And not for nothing, the young ones come with proof. They be like, the older ones be too relaxed. The young ones be like, what? I got my own car, I got a job, I got my degree, was good. I'm like, oh, they come hard. But I'm like, baby. They're like, I ain't no baby, I'm a grown man. Like,
right, you challenge them. Hey, you might want to take one out. Yeah, you might want to take one out. You might not have to pay for nothing.
No, the young boys, you know what's funny? The young ones don't expect you to pay for nothing. They trying to prove themselves. Like, don't look at my age, I'm a man. The older ones, I had one guy, I was talking to him on the phone. I'm just like, before, and I was like, we're talking. I'm like, well, what are you planning on doing? It was like a Wednesday, one day. Friday, he was like, I'm gonna go home. I'm like, you're not planning on trying to see? This is the older ones. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what are we doing? Why are we on the phone?
We might have to mix it up.
Duke. We might have to what?
We gotta have another podcast about this. Hey.
We gonna please won't you come on my podcast?
This right here. You know what?
No, we're gonna do another podcast about this because that's my lane.
We can talk about it.
We can talk about this real stuff that needs to be talked about. We're not going to do that right now because we're going to seg all the way out. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it next show.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Attraction.
All right.
I like that.
We can, not next week, but the week after, the 5th Wednesday, we can literally talk about the law of attraction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I think that would be good. We can talk about the definite law of attraction. We can definitely do that.
Let's do that because it's real.
I do believe in the law of attraction.
100. But that's not for nothing. When we pull a religious text apart, like our Bible and everything, me and my best friend, we decode. It talks about that. It talks about these things and their way though. But when you decode it and you have an open mind, it's what it's telling you. It all starts here.
So because there's 5 Wednesdays in this month, the 5th Wednesday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's 5 Wednesdays in this month. Next week, I'm going to have a very special guest on, and she has been tasked with listening to all these conversations about relationships, and we just going to do something totally different.
Okay.
Duke, you know what? Duke over here talking about, yes, Marcus and Kia giving David and Tamala vibes. First of all,
I'm minding my business.
I don't even know what David and Tamala, I don't even know what that means. But because I can't even sing, and me and
the whole spiritual aspect, girl. Oh, I'm on my business now. Before I get kicked off the show, I'm just.
You're gonna get kicked off the show once again. Kia started this. She shouldn't have threw me out.
She did.
She said Marcus like them older tall women. I was like,
I get to do it, but I was being respectful. But since she said one little thing, I was like, I'm jumping.
Nobody told you to jump. You're supposed to feel the energy and not jump at that.
Marcus jumped first.
I didn't jump. I just responded.
Just like this.
I felt challenged as a man, and I had to respond.
You know what? I'm trying to
that's what we doing?
because we done been on here for a good while. Half hours at that. But I'm trying to wrap this up. So I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm not dealing with all of this. Dude, you know what? I'm not reading no more of these comments either.
Right.
Dude,
I'm trying not to
get off the darn live, Dude. You're off. Get off the live, Dude. Anyway, no, this has been a great conversation. Like I said, next week, the guest that is coming on is literally just gonna be her and I, and she has been tasked with listening to us talk about relationships, and we're just gonna really talk about it as a whole, and really delve into it. Number one, because she had a group called Wife Ability, she had a group called Life Ability, and now she is the CEO and founder of the movement that I'm a part of, which is the Phyllis Storytelling Movement. Her name is Adrienne E. Bell, and we about to take. You have to know, Marcus know Adrienne. Adrienne is raw. Adrienne is uncut. Adrienne is Adrienne, and this is it's gonna get very, very, very real. And I love her for her realness. And you know, one thing she promotes is all the way real, and we don't put on no ears for nobody. So I think it's gonna be really good. The week after, we will deal with the law of attraction. What I will say is that it's the 5th Wednesday, and the 5th Wednesday, I am going to have my good signature drink. Okay, I can't tell you what it is because, you know, ain't no free promo over here. However, it will be called an M&M. And that's the only thing y'all gonna get from me is that it's an M&M. And that's what will be featured on the Good 5th Wednesday as we discuss the law of attraction. And
right.
Huh?
Who's gonna be on that one?
We all are. That's gonna be free gang. We're gonna be up in there like Beyonce, gang, 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 gang. That's what we're gonna do. That's free gang. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Who did that song?
Chingy.
Him.
No. Jay Quan or some Jay something. I don't know.
Right, but whoever that was, that's what it's gonna be. And we're gonna be up in here. Everybody is allowed at least, I believe, up to at least 10 people. So you know, y'all my good faithful, so y'all already know. So be prepared. Y'all better tune in next week. I'm not playing with y'all neither. So tune in for Adrian E. Bell because it's gonna be told. And then the following we're gonna really do Duke, I done kicked you off this good live. Duke is kicked off. You know what, Duke?
Set that up.
I'm about to text you, Duke. But anyway, so it's gonna be real. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be hype, and I truly am excited. After that 5th Wednesday, it's truly gonna wrap up this month, and next month I'm telling y'all gonna be in for a good treat.
Nice.
Because I'm preparing some stuff. I will begin to advertise it probably next week or so. But I am going to do something that might be viewed as I'm not even gonna say controversial because I'm not a controversial person. I just deal with truth. So
that's it. Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with something that is the truth, and it's just what it is,
right?
You know. And I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be. I really think it's gonna be great.
That's in my show as well.
Okay.
I'm doing Moosh Boosh now, but when I had the pink elephant, that's what we talked about. You know, when you think about the elephant in the room, it's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. But I'm that girl that addresses the elephant in the room. Yeah, I talk about, even if it makes, listen, everything I talk about doesn't always make me feel comfortable. And I'm not here to make people feel comfortable. I'm here to make people think.
That's it.
That's it. I can't tell you right, wrong. I just want you to see things from another way. That's
what I'm about. And
they telling you to get in that entanglement.
Entanglement. I'm gonna fight y'all.
Marcus.
I'm fighting. Yeah, Marcus.
It's in the comments. That's not me. That's the comments.
We ain't reading them no more. So you know what? Y'all keep it tight, keep it locked, because this is just the beginning. I'm being very real and I'm being very serious. Like, this truly is just the beginning. I refuse to be like everybody else, and I'm gonna be Nakia. And because I'm gonna be Nakia, we're gonna discuss things that might make others uncomfortable, but it's gonna make us great. And that's how I feel. So until next week, everybody, when we meet with Adrian E. Bell, the life ability coach, Philly Storyteller founder, and then that 5th Good Wednesday, when we sit up here and we're gonna talk about the law of attraction, we're gonna have our good panel back, we're gonna have some more people back, and we're gonna really deal with this law of attraction. And then next month, just being for this good ride. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all.
And we're putting something together, a panel with a few women and men. I'm still talking to the mayor about it from Orange because he's supposed to be allowing me to use a facility or something because I want to have a real panel. I would love for you to drive up here, darling, and just have a good, healthy conversation about relationships, about accountability, about the man protecting the black woman, the woman protecting the black man. And at the end, you know, we're gonna all hold ourselves responsible for having each other's back. It's gonna be a good conversation.
So Jamal, Marcus, you know, good.
Jamal, you are so awesome. Thank you.
Jamal right there in the city.
Thank you. I'm just a reflection. Y'all got it.
Conversation. Marcus, he could drive up. He only in Maryland. He only like a good 3.5 hours away.
Yeah.
It just can't be on the day where he's working. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we ever meet up, I'm gonna talk a lot of crap about you and Nakia. Just cause it's fun.
Ain't no crap to be talked. She put it out there.
I'll have a big bag of popcorn.
Thank you, everybody that held on to the end, because the folks is up here cutting up. All right. Thank y'all. Have a good night, and we will truly see y'all next week. Peace. We love y'all. We out.
We out.
We out.